Hi. Thanks for joining another week of the Inexperienced podcast. I'm the host, Joe Recupero, and I really appreciate you guys being here. Last week, week one, was really, really good, really interesting. I have got a lot of feedback that I greatly appreciate. Um, so please enjoy this next conversation and continue to follow us on Instagram at underscore inexperience underscore, on Twitter or X at underscore inexperience underscore, TikTok at inexperience.pod, Facebook at inexperience podcast, and YouTube at inexperience podcast. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, and Podbean. If you have Podbean, you can listen on there. But thanks for coming. Thanks for sticking out 2 hours, and I look forward to keep giving you more and more interesting conversations as the weeks go on. Thanks again for being here. And if you want to be a guest sometime, you can hit us up on Instagram. We have in our bio, there's a link where you could apply to be a guest. I look forward to talking to you and enjoy the episode. Hi, welcome back to the Inexperienced podcast. My next guest is Madison Marino. She is an IP attorney in New York, the host of Esquire's State of Mind, and also a seasonal mover.
Yeah, that's true.
Congratulations. So how many
Thank you.
moves do you have under your belt now?
This will be my third move in 2 years. So this is my second, like, multiple states move, and the one in between was like kind of just 10 minutes away. Different apartments.
That was just to keep practice.
Yeah, I had to keep myself on my
'cause, like,
toes, can't stay in one place for too
If
long.
you don't pack everything up once a year, how do you know where the stuff you haven't used all year is?
Right, exactly. And how do I know what to get rid of? Like, this is a really good way for me to clean out my closet.
Yeah, and it's like a car, right? I used to lease cars.
Okay.
Because I didn't like to stay in the same car too long. The economy and COVID and everything, and all right, I bought a car.
Yeah.
But I wish I could go back to leasing. That's kind of like what you do, but at homes.
Well, yeah, I mean, a rent is a lease.
Yeah, true. But most people don't,
I
flip
get it.
their lease the next year.
Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, we haven't stayed in one place for longer than a year.
So are you planning on it?
I don't know.
That's exciting.
But yeah, I kind of like that I don't know.
That's good. It's good not to know where your next year is going to go.
Also, like, when it comes to apartments and rentals, like, you don't really know if you're going to like even just the physical place that you're in until you're living in it, and it's like a few months down the road, and then you're like, okay, maybe I don't want to renew this lease.
All right, so true.
Yeah.
But so now you said you're moving multiple states.
Yeah.
It's a big move.
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to cause a little bit of a concern? Are you going to question? Are you going to want to come back here? Where is here? Where are you going?
Okay, we're in like Atlanta right now, Metro Atlanta, and we're going to Philly. I'm from New York originally, so like getting much closer to home.
But Philly is not home.
No, it's not, but that's okay.
But like the worst people on the planet live in Philly.
No comment. I'm about to go live there.
Okay. I just hope you know that when they burn down the city, it's actually a celebration. They're burning down the place that they love because the Eagles won.
Yeah, I've heard the stories. I know the lore.
You know how to climb poles?
No, I think I'll just go somewhere else when that happens. I think I'll just escape.
No, you have to watch the chaos.
No, I don't think I do.
Come on, you don't remember when Italy won?
True.
Like, come on, that was kind of fun. Italy won the Euro Cup. It's like
fun.
the B tournament.
But
that was fun.
Nobody set any fires. It was fireworks and champagne showers.
We stopped a couple buses.
Yeah, people were climbing.
We stopped a couple buses, but like out of fun. We climbed buses out of fun.
It was also very contained.
Yeah, it was contained chaos for like 2 blocks.
Yeah.
The entire city of Philly burned. If they could steal the Liberty Bell, they would have.
Okay.
You don't think that's fair?
I don't know, and I'm excited to go.
You can't imagine those. I don't even like the lowest of the low in the sports fandoms. You can't imagine those people with the Liberty Bell in their hands. I can.
I mean,
I can imagine them marching it down the street, screaming that stupid "Fly Eagles Fly"
do you think they'd
nonsense.
Get it back? Yeah.
Yes, but they'd fix it, so it would be broken in essence because they break everything. So they'd fix the crack.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, we'll see if anything gets burnt down while I'm there.
I hope not. That would mean things are going well in Philly.
Well, I hope they do. I'm moving there.
No. Because if things go well in Philly, that means the Phillies win, which I don't really care about as a Yankee fan. I'm always Mets fan
Right.
anymore. But like, I can never live with the Flyers winning, and I don't care about basketball enough. But like, the Sixers are funny bad because like they're at that level. You need to know these things.
Okay.
You need to know these
I'm
things.
listening.
They're at this level, the Sixers, where like they should compete, they should win games, but they don't, and it's hysterical. And it's like the one team in the city that now they're like really tired of.
Okay.
They're really tired of them.
You know what though?
They want to move.
I've been living in Atlanta for 2 years, or like right outside of Atlanta, whatever. Metro Atlanta is what they call it. And like, I'm not really sure we got anything going on here as far as sports. So
No, nothing.
like living here too, coming from New York and then moving here, like, you know what's big here is college.
Well, that's what you have. That's what's good
which
about
is
this.
exciting.
College football is exciting, and you can be horrific this year.
Yeah.
And then you got a bunch of new hungry 18-year-olds next year.
And everybody loves you no matter what.
Win or lose, you represent the dogs.
Yeah.
Like, and you're a dog for life.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I'm really glad I got to experience that while I was here, because I didn't go to a big college, I didn't go to a football school, and coming here and getting to experience Athens and like a game was just like tailgating.
And this year there was a playoff, and there was.
I mean, and they're coming off of a win, like they're coming off a championship win, like it was really that was last year.
The basketball program is good.
I don't know anything. I really don't care for basketball. Like, as a sport, I also never played it growing up. I was never really interested in it. We were just watching the Knicks last night, and I was like, and Jalen Brunson, like whatever, he got fouled, but he like literally rammed his body into the other player, and I was like, the sport's such a fucking joke, because the next play there was a foul, and they didn't call it. It's the
closest thing we have to soccer here.
But we have soccer here.
No, we have like D3 soccer here. No one's watching the MLS for competitive soccer.
Okay.
No one's watching the MLS for competitive soccer.
I agree, but maybe they're watching the women's league.
Yeah, the women's leagues are better, but
they're awesome.
Still American soccer.
Okay, fine, but I would not compare basketball to soccer. Coming from someone who played it their whole life.
Not in terms of like the sport itself, but like the antics of like the draw and crying and nonsense and like.
Agreed.
Shut up.
But also, not a lot of that happens in women's soccer. So
I'm gonna say the thing that everyone's thinking. I didn't know women's soccer was on television. I know, like,
yes, you did.
Every 4 years it is the World Cup. I didn't know that they like.
I know you're joking.
No, I didn't know the professional women's soccer league was like readily available. I know the Kansas City team is owned by Patrick Mahomes, and that it was the first arena built with women in mind. Predominantly a woman-owned like sports facility, which is really cool. And that's
which
really
I actually didn't know, but
big. Oh, see, look at it. Oh, but you didn't. But you know they're on TV.
Of course I do. I grew up watching them.
I'm just saying. Oh, you know some things that I don't. I know a little bit about the women's league, and this.
But also, you read things. You read the news. I don't.
I love.
I don't know what's going on.
I became an old man over the summer.
Yeah.
I read the New York Times.
You did tell me this. Oh yeah,
from. I don't know, a week after July 13th, so July 20th, I decided, all right, the news is picking up, and I bought the paper, and I read it until the end of the year. I read it through the election cycle.
Good for you.
That's the only way to consume the news.
You're strong.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, but you have to read and then watch.
I don't do either. Sorry. I get my news from you mostly. That's
dangerous.
I know. I get my news from other people, and I don't. But like, I know how to filter.
But that's good. That's good. Some people know that they can't be involved with it. Some people get really upset, and it really bothers them. And
I feel like I know about the important stuff that's going on that I need to know about. The little minutia, the day to day, like what's in the news cycle this day, this week.
The news cycle's toxic.
I'm not into it. I don't care to know. I also choose, like I pick, which is bad to say, but I like to pick and choose what I'm paying attention to, especially if it affects like my job and like the things that are going on.
The news cycle now, a lot of it, because there's too much news, too many outlets that have like opinions, that it's like tabloids. It's like walking through the supermarket when we were kids and seeing like, oh, Queen Elizabeth has type
And let me
type
tell
2
you,
diabetes. She's fine.
I am a consumer of like pop culture news for
Mhm.
sure. That's news that I really care about and want to read. It's more entertaining. It doesn't make me sad.
But unfortunately, you're their target. They're not getting
Sure,
you,
sure, yeah.
but that's what they're doing. That's
Mhm.
the news now is those same out of pocket crazy things you would read on Us Weekly
Mhm.
growing up.
Yeah, sometimes I do see the news and I'm like, are we serious?
Like we're playing tabloid and gossip with like
Like, I don't care who's golfing where right now.
exactly with
Don't
like
care.
national politics. National
Why
politics
should
and not
anybody care what I'm doing if that's news?
exactly like no one cares. No one cares who's golfing. No one cares who's on vacation. Dude, just tell me how like the Dow is doing and like if my neighborhood is safe.
Yeah.
Like that's what the
I
news is
do I
for.
do care for local news.
Uh,
National news,
Local news is too local for me.
well, I like to know what's going on in my neighborhood.
So exactly.
I remember watching the local news one day and I was like, "Oh, I know where that is."
See,
And like in it and like I'm new here, right? Like I don't really
that's where we differ.
but
I can't. Local's too local for me.
I like it. I like to
Local's too local. I prefer national.
No, I want to know what's going on in my neighborhood. Is like what's going like really?
My neighborhood's going through it. Um, we got to change the team names of our school. we got.
No,
You got. Yeah, we got to change. Massapequa was in the national
I
news.
didn't know where you were going with that.
I don't get it. We have a professional football team that shares the same name. So like, listen, that they do.
That did share your name?
No. Massapequa was the Chiefs. Once a Chief,
Oh,
always a Chief.
got it.
We're not changing our name.
Aren't they trying to change the Kansas City
This,
Chiefs?
they're trying. They're trying to change the.
They
They're
can't
trying to
get
change the Atlanta Braves.
Okay. But Washington?
Washington, like the Commanders now.
Yeah.
They
Like
had to change.
they got that done.
Well, that was racist.
Why can't we get the Chiefs done
Like that's
and
one where
the Braves done?
when I was a kid, I was like, oh, they can't change the name. It's a famous team. And then like I grew up, and
Also,
then like
everybody's
my
okay
own
with it.
opinions formed, and they're not coming just from like people that grew up in the '80s. And I'm starting to form my own opinions. I'm like, ooh, that was a racist name.
So tell me, so is the Chiefs too far for you?
Chiefs is too far. Chiefs, well, who cares? Chief is like a proud position in Native American culture. We are a Native American country. Our roots.
What is the reason they're giving for changing it?
No Native American terminology or names or anything like that. So what you're whitewashing. That's to me, that's what you're doing. Because if you can't, the Warriors
But like,
aren't
is it
allowed.
is it a big deal?
No. I live in Long Island. We still have native land on Long Island.
So just change it.
Why?
Oh my God.
Once a chief, I will change. I'm willing to have one change. Instead of being the Massapequa Chiefs and having the Native American that we do have as our logo. And I went to the school for 1 year and I hated it. I did not identify as a chief. I went there and I graduated. Now I'm a fucking chief. I'm going to football games next year and I can't wait. I'm a chief now.
Interesting.
Anyway,
Have the tables turned.
I'm okay if the Massapequa Chiefs were to change their logo from the Native American that we currently have to like a cop or a firefighter or someone else who's a chief.
Yeah. I was thinking that when you said.
Can't that just be it? We're the Massapequa.
Is that also maybe
Well, Massapequa,
problematic as well?
Why? If you know anything about Massapequa, a lot of us are first responder families.
Why don't we just put it to a vote?
Yeah, we vote. We want to. They won't put it to a vote because they know how Massapequa's going to vote, and they won't let the affluent town win.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, you're right. The affluent town shouldn't win because the towns that aren't, and it's not even affluent, it's upper middle class.
I was
It's
going
not
to say
even like affluent.
Affluent in quotes. What is this the one that they want to change it? Who's the one that wants to like what?
Matthew Hochul, the government.
Oh.
This is the governor, this is the whole state, and now they finally got to a point where there was a ruling. And the ruling is, gotta change your name.
Oh, this is like
over
a court
yeah,
judgment?
last 2 weeks. It's gonna end up going to the Supreme Court. It's gonna end up getting taken up all the way.
Think so?
Yes, because the president of the United States is truth socialing about it. It's gonna end up at the Supreme Court. Massapequa won't let it die. They've already said that they will be the Chiefs.
Okay, so that Massapequa will
appeal
it all the way to
Massapequa will go as far as if they don't need public funding, they won't take it. Massapequa will go that far because the name is that important to them. Which, you know what? Good for them. Die for something.
Good luck.
If you live for nothing, you die for nothing.
I
The
I
whole
don't
slogan
I
was
don't care
work.
either way, but good luck to
Do you like the
whoever's
show?
involved.
Do you like the show 30 Rock?
I actually don't.
No.
Yeah, should we talk about that?
Oh,
I
well,
never finished it. I hated it.
more specifically about 30 Rock, the lead actor, what's his name?
Alec Baldwin.
He's a chief. Once a chief, always a chief.
Okay.
You like Seinfeld?
I watched the whole show.
Jerry?
Is he a chief?
Technically, I think he's a Burner Bison, but Burner Middle School is now part of the Massapequa school system,
Okay.
like officially. So, like, yeah, sure. Once a chief, always a chief.
You've seen 30 Rock?
Yeah. I don't know if I watched it all the way through because I should not have been watching it when it was live on television.
So I didn't, right? I went back, I don't know when, how many years ago. I tried to watch it. I got to a certain point, and I was like,
There's some rough middle seasons from what I remember.
this is boring.
There was
And
one
it was
specific
funny.
episode.
And you know what's weird? Tina Fey is a funny person.
They're all hysterical, and
Alec Baldwin, funny person.
the
Funny
idea
people.
behind the show is hysterical. Like they
But it-
film it in the background of
You know-
SNL.
Was there no chemistry maybe? Like something was weird about it. I couldn't get into it. I no longer found it very funny. I'm not sure I ever found it very
Chemistry was
funny.
a problem.
No,
because
I
even
take that back.
Alec Baldwin's like one of the most decorated hosts in SNL
I take
history.
it back. It's not that. I think I personally just did not find it as funny, maybe as other shows I was watching at the time, which I think at the time it was like The Office and Parks and Rec, which I found funnier.
I never got into it. I don't think I ever got past like the first 4
What?
episodes. Parks and Rec.
So good.
See, and I
I
find
actually think I'm gonna rewatch it. I have not rewatched that show, and I rewatch all of my shows.
I've rewatched a handful of shows. I think I've watched It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia 2, maybe 3 times.
I actually haven't.
Oh my
watched
God,
that.
phenomenal! You gotta watch it now.
I know.
You gotta watch it now. We gotta go to
I
Patty's
know. I
Pub.
do think it's. I've seen clips.
really
I've
there.
seen episodes, and I think it's very funny. I just have never really watched the show.
The show's incredible.
Charlie Day's hysterical.
Rob McClinery. I don't
Wouldn't
know.
know. I really only know Charlie Day.
The one that's friends with
Oh, I don't know.
owns the soccer team with Blake Lively's husband, with Ryan Reynolds.
I forget his name.
Yeah, him.
I forget his
He
name.
created it. It was him, the guy
Oh,
that plays Dennis.
okay.
I'm using his name too now, and Charlie Day, who
Okay.
plays Charlie.
He's funny.
They kind of created the show, and it was Rob McKinnery, I think is his name. It was his idea. It was a contest. FX said,
Oh, I
"We
love that.
want you to write
I love that.
shows." They asked people to write shows about their cities. And there's a show about Chicago and a show about LA and New York. And yeah, okay, that's been done a million times in each
Why
of those
not
cities.
Philly?
But why not Philly? And now it's like the longest running, it's got the most seasons ever for a 30-minute sitcom.
It's still on TV.
It's still on TV because they let them do what they want in the meantime. So
Wait,
there won't be a season for 2 years, and then they'll just come back.
That makes sense because I'm like, I thought it was over.
Yeah, no, they come back. They do like 6, 7 episodes a year now. Danny DeVito being in that show is phenomenal. And he didn't start on the show.
Mhm.
He only came in like season 2, and without him, the show's nowhere. But it's
Yeah.
such a cool concept, a cool idea, and that he wrote about where he was from.
Yeah, I love
He
it.
got an
I love that
opportunity.
it was a contest.
It was a contest, and not a lot of people know that. I heard it once. I heard this story once when I was actually at Patty's Pub.
Mm.
So because we asked him why this bar, did he work here, and all of that.
Okay, wait, don't tell me anymore because I have to watch and then I need to learn the lore.
It's such a good show, and it's just so
seen
funny.
it.
It's South Park kind of funny, where
Okay, great.
you watch it and you're like, oh, I shouldn't laugh at that. Oh, that's fucked up. You
Okay.
can't say that on TV.
Also, I think is it still like that?
Yes, they have moments where they're
Okay.
like, ooh.
Okay, good because that too is like, like, so but you've seen The Office.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because that's why The Office is so funny sometimes too. Because I'm like, oh, you can't say that now.
Yeah, but that's I think a different kind of you can't say that now. Because you used to be able to say that on cable or
No.
network television.
Some stuff, well, I mean, even some stuff, I'm like, "Ugh, they should probably take this off.
What is it? The second episode is the stereotype
I think
episode?
so, yeah.
That one's raw.
The,
It's
the,
hysterical.
the Office is so fucking funny,
But-
but you need to watch Parks and Rec.
Everyone
It's
tells me.
really good.
Everyone tells me. I don't know. I know,
Okay.
especially someone that likes politics as much as I do. I would
love
enjoy.
it.
I didn't like Veep either.
I haven't seen Veep.
I watched 2 episodes
I'm
of Veep.
kind of staying away from it because I'm kind of afraid I won't like it, and I just don't. I don't know.
My problem is
Also, I've seen dialogue from it, and I'm kind of like,
it's dry. From what I heard, it's dry
yeah, like, I
humor.
don't know.
And I think I would get it, and I think I would like it if I kept watching it. However, I was watching it right after House of Cards. Like I finished House of Cards, I was like, "Ooh, let's put on Veep."
Yeah, let's put on
Not
a
it.
comedy about the
Yeah,
government.
It's like I just like the government. learning about it and I like reading about it, and I really do enjoy that stuff.
How come you didn't? Sorry, I don't mean to keep cutting you off, but how come you didn't tell me when you finished House of Cards?
Because you didn't.
But I had seen it.
Have you finished it?
No.
Okay.
I am a notorious non-finisher of TV shows.
I
There's so many TV shows that I have watched up until at least the final season, or even right before the finale. Never finished the show.
I've gotten worse at watching TV shows than I had been previously. I watched the House of Dragon. I love Game of Thrones. I have to watch the last episode of season 2. Still haven't watched it. And like, imagine sitting down every week to watch every episode and then just not watching the finale.
Okay, but literally me watching Succession.
Except
Never
for-
watched the last season.
Oh, it's good. Gotta watch it.
I know.
Gotta finish it. It's so
Well,
good.
you know
It's so
what?
worth it. It's a 4-season show.
I'm gonna start it over, but I think I was studying for the bar exam when the final season came out, and I was like, I can't watch TV right now. I also can't watch TV that's gonna make me think. I also can't watch TV that is like tangentially related to the law. Like, can't.
Did you get up to the birthday party?
I don't even know.
Oh my god.
Don't spoil.
Oh my god, what's his name? Who's the older, the son? What's his name? Kendall.
Kendall.
His 40th birthday. You didn't see his 40th birthday?
Oh yeah, that ridiculous.
Oh my god,
party.
it's one of those episodes of TV. My brother had it on the other day because he's watching Succession, and I was like,
Yeah, that
Is that-
ridiculous party.
"Are you watching the birthday party?" He goes, "Yeah, why?" I said, "Matt, it's what the Pine Barrens is to the Sopranos.
Yeah,
It's a ridiculous
I do
episode
remember
that does
that.
not. You're like,
Yeah.
huh? In the middle right now, and it is so good.
Yeah,
It's
I do.
so
I
good."
do remember that episode, and I remember watching the whole episode, and I'm just kind of like, "The fuck are we doing here?"
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, the plot's moving
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
And that's why it reminds me of both HBO and HBO does such a good job at giving you an episode where you're like, the fuck did I just watch? That was
love
sick.
that, and you know what? I would prefer that over the like pointless season.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of TV shows will have like one really good season or two really good seasons, and then there's that season because they like need to move the plot along, but they don't really have anything good to work with.
Dexter did that.
Oh my god!
When Dexter got a
That's a show I
girlfriend,
finished,
that was weird.
unfortunately.
Not Rita. The girlfriend after Rita.
Yeah,
I forgot her name.
me
Hannah?
too. I don't remember.
And when her storyline was weird because Dexter's whole thing was like, he's a monster. He can't feel love.
Yeah. No, I feel like they lose it, and it happens to a lot of shows and a lot of shows that are on for a long time, which is why I respected Succession because they could have fallen into that slump, but they ended it where it needed to be ended, which I don't know what it is.
I'm not a real big fan of prequels because I don't like this idea that like
Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
No, I fucking love Better Call Saul.
I've never seen
was my
either of
segue.
those.
Better Call
I know it's on
Saul
my list.
was like, oh my god, it's like Breaking Bad is like a top 7 TV show.
And
I would say
that.
Better Call Saul is a top 5.
Okay, I've heard that about both of them, and I haven't watched them yet.
And it's one of those prequels where you're like, you know everything about Saul Goodman, as
Yeah.
far as you know. And then you watch this show and you're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
This character I've known. When a prequel can do that to me, sign me up. Man, when you know Anakin becomes Darth Vader, it's much harder to watch Star Wars.
I'm going to watch them. I have such a long list of TV shows that I actually really need to sit down and watch. My problem is that when I sit down to watch TV, I really am no longer interested in like consuming any information and
Mhm.
processing anything, aka need to dissociate on the couch, and so I rewatch all of my shows. There are some shows that I have rewatched so many times because it's just easy. Like I know what's gonna happen. It's
But
entertaining.
that's a thing among our generation, too. Like,
Yeah?
rewatching things, especially because, like, my brother, his show is How I Met Your Mother.
Also, have never seen that.
Fantastic. You gotta watch it once
I've
in your
never
life.
been
Now is the
interested.
time in your life to watch it.
Yeah.
Now's the time in your life to watch it. Yeah. Especially when, like, you kind of realize that your friends in front of you now at this point are your friends.
Okay, fair enough.
Um,
I like that. Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, it's a good show. It's a good show for now, I would say.
I just don't know why I don't really like Neil Patrick Harris.
God, stop.
But I think it's because that's the only show I've ever really known.
Do you
Like,
know, like, he plays, like, do you know the role he plays in that show?
yes.
I'll
I'll watch it. Because I do actually really like the whole premise of the show. I appreciate the story.
What I love about Neil Patrick Harris more than anything is that, like, he plays the most womanizing, like, least gay character he could
Yeah.
in some of his funniest roles.
I
He's-
take that back. I don't dislike him.
You don't no one it's like a weird one to be like, I dislike NPH.
Don't dislike him. I think I just Don't know enough about him.
That's
Haven't
fair.
seen enough of his stuff.
But like he's one of the good kid actors. There's very, very few kid actors that make it out all right. And he's one of them. He's a very, very, from what we know, a good person, a good man.
We're going to have to watch this back, and I'm going to have to make my list of all. There's so many shows that I have to watch. So that's one, How I Met Your Mother. What else did I say?
How I Met Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. You've seen Lost.
Unfortunately.
You have to finish Succession. Unfortunately,
Yes.
this was so
Lost. Lost was good for like 3 seasons.
good. No, well,
Then it lost the plot completely.
it's like
Lost the plot.
No, so yes, okay, fine. It is a little spacey and a little out there. And I would agree with you if we had to watch it the way our parents did. But these people were excited for 22 weeks of television a year for 6 seasons, which is crazy. You're never going to get me to do that for something in 6 years. 6 months a year, you sit down once a week to go watch a show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
And like you can't do that now. I prefer network TV. I prefer 10 episodes. But I can't imagine sitting down to watch Lost that long.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I know myself, and
Binging is easy.
I wanted to stop watching it, but it took me a long time to watch it because it really went on forever. And I can imagine on TV, if it were me, I would have stopped watching it. There are shows that I started watching on TV that I stopped watching because I was like, this is going on for too long. Like, I don't know where we're going. It's been a week since I watched the last episode. Everything's starting to blend. There's so many shows like that. And it's like teenage shows.
I watched 17 seasons of Grey's Anatomy during quarantine, which like
also started that, never finished it. I won't go back.
I need to do during quarantine to be like, yeah, let's watch a medical show all the way through.
But me too. I also started it because I was thinking, this is a long show. I'll make it to a certain point. We all know the point. And I couldn't get there.
When who dies? Everyone knows it's 17 seasons at this point. If you didn't see season 12, on you.
That's when it happened. Season 6, like that's a lot.
It was like 10 years ago.
McDreamy.
Yeah, it's like 10 years ago.
Yeah. So I started it.
We were in high school. Let me think. I know exactly where I was sitting when I ruined it for somebody. I was in Massapequa High School, so that could have only been. Which class was I in? Oh my God, this is how my brain works. My brain is crazy. I can tell you, I was sitting in my.
I know. I'm so unlike
physics
this.
class.
I don't remember
I was sitting in physics, and I was only in Massapequa for physics for 2 months, so it could only have been between April and June of 2015.
Insane.
So yeah, so all right, 10 years, and
so
I
didn't like it though.
Spoiler alert: if you haven't been watching Grey's Anatomy in the last 10 years, McDreamy's dead.
Yeah, he dies at some point. And I thought, okay, I'll start it, and then that's when I'll stop. Because I heard from people, this is like, that's when the show dies as well. So I did start it. And I genuinely didn't like it. It just became like, I actually did like it. I actually liked the characters, but I was just kind of like, there's nothing here for me to keep going.
There got to a point where the show became propaganda for more COVID awareness, and that's when it lost me. Because like it was nice to like, okay, fine, it was a hospital show, and like, oh, why are you watching this during a pandemic? But then it was like, all right, it's kind of like a break from reality a little bit.
Yeah.
But then it was like they did a whole season where Meredith had COVID and she was in and out of dreams, and
yeah,
that was the last one I watched.
I really don't know if I made it past like season 4.
Which one? So when my parents were watching it,
yeah,
the one episode that stuck with me was when George dies.
Yeah.
And
I think I made it that far. And I was like,
he was
I'm
like
done.
One of my favorite characters.
I was like,
it's
I'm
like
done.
and now watching it, I know he's gonna die the entire time, and it still got me.
Yeah.
It was still like one of those moments of TV where like George, and of all people to like leave the show TR night.
Well, isn't there
didn't really work out for him.
Drama about that?
For him leaving?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay, don't quote me. I don't know if this is true, but I thought there was drama with his departure. Like there's a reason why he had to leave the show.
I know that they were Catherine Heigl was not happy with how they got her off the show, which she was absolutely right.
I loved her,
but she caused issues. And then they kind of brought her character back.
Okay, let's talk about that because she has spoken about it recently. She was really like blacklisted for so long, and for what?
Wait, she left the show.
No, apparently she was like wanting to be treated with respect on set
I think that
and wasn't.
I think it was something to do with in Pompeo probably and Marino.
No.
That wasn't her. Marlon Pompeo's contract coming out. That wasn't then.
I didn't think so.
Unless that was recently.
The story I heard about why she left, she might have been asked to leave and they kicked her off the show. Also, my dog is
She's
making
gonna bring
that
us
noise.
forever.
Yes, Brooklyn.
Sorry. Yeah, last week Jesse was barking a little bit in the first episode,
It's
but
just
like
puppies.
there's just only so much you can do to stop them, and people are just like, listen, I'm not in a studio.
There she goes again.
This is where we are, and it's just how it is, and it's just gonna be part of. I hope it's not part of it. Hope that like every week people come in, it's not like dog making noise.
Yeah. It's
It
part
is.
of my life now, so.
Yeah, it's part of my
I'm
life too. And these buttons are annoying. I have them
I
home.
think she's back here
She's
now.
behind the curtain now. This is what Dylan. This is what Dylan. Oh my god,
Jesse.
Jesse. I just called Dylan. Oh my god, called Jesse Dylan twice. Dylan was my dog who passed away. I love Dylan,
Yeah,
but I do love Jesse. But puppies are so fun.
They're so fun. They're a lot of work. We're about to change the subject because
Because that's what they do. They make you forget about things.
Yes.
And they make you move on and
make you
jump
crazy.
topics without. Look at the curtain. The curtain we had so nice, and we
They
took
make
25
you-
minutes to get ready.
they make you
Ruined.
crazy. They make you lose sleep. It's like having a baby, although I don't know what that's like. What are you doing?
She's like,
She
locked up
also
in the
does
thing.
things on purpose.
No, this is what they do. They're
It
petty.
took us 45 minutes to start this episode because she would not stop barking at us because she wanted to play with this.
The mics distract them and excite them. Now she's scratching at the floor. All right, let's not focus on the dog. We could talk about dogs.
Yeah.
We got dogs around the same time.
Yeah.
Last year.
They're like the same age.
They're 2 days apart.
Yeah.
My Jesse's 2 days older,
sisters.
but you've had Brooklyn a month longer.
Yeah.
And I was afraid that watching you guys with Brooklyn, that Jesse was not developmentally sound.
Why you think this one is?
No.
No, the picture of
No, because that's the Instagram life and the Snapchat life that
the
exists
highlight reel.
The highlight reel, it exists for real people.
Yeah.
But then when you have strangers around, dogs are usually typically good around other people because they're too excited about him.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've been here for like a day, I'm not a new person anymore, so she can become a deviant.
Yeah, she's gonna be mean to you now
Because
because she's a bully.
She's gonna unplug my computer and make noise, and she'll jump up here and start barking very shortly.
Totally a bully. I do think she might be getting sleepy, and she is requesting that we relax now because she's
Relaxing.
a diva.
They have their moods.
Yeah,
Jesse,
they have a lot of personality. They just
Jesse is so vocal. Jesse, who you guys met last week, and you guys know she's vocal. She does this thing where if you're not paying attention to her, it does not matter what time of the day it is. She's good at nighttime. When it's bedtime, it's bedtime.
yeah.
But if you're like sitting on the couch
Yeah.
and reading,
God
how
forbid.
dare you?
God forbid.
She will go all the way to her toys,
God forbid.
pick a ball, usually a ball, walk up to the couch and throw it under the couch so she can bark at it for you to go get it.
You know,
She'll
my,
throw
my
it.
sister's dog does stuff like that. And Brooklyn doesn't do things like that, but she just barked at us for 30 minutes because she wanted to play.
So now in our house, we've been in our house for almost 15 years now.
Yeah.
And we have these blinds on our back door that they can go all the way down, but they never did because it was like we had to take the glass off because it didn't go smoothly. But it never really needed to be closed or anything. Well,
Okay.
now the dog likes to stand there and look through every crack. And if a bird touches her yard, ballistic.
That's
And it's
amazing.
all day, every day. And now that we put the blinds down, she can't see. So 15 years, she finally got us to put the blinds down. She can't see. So she'll routinely have to go bark so you can open the door because she wants to look.
Oh.
She doesn't necessarily want to go outside, but she wants to know that nothing's going on in her backyard.
They just do really like quirky things. Like Brooklyn, for example, loves to people watch. She loves to look outside, and she will like sit there and look outside for a very long time, and then she'll end up falling asleep, like looking out the window. But there are a lot of kids that live on our block, and they all play outside in front of our house. And she will torture me when they're playing outside because she wants to go play with them. And it's
She's one of
really
the
cute.
kids.
Yeah, it's really cute. But like for a while it was like every day.
Well, so we have a neighbor dog who we got Jesse in February of last year. They got their dog in August. He's also a poo. And
A poo.
he's a poo. Yeah.
Okay.
You have a poo. I have a
Can we
poo.
is doodle not appropriate because they're not?
Yeah, it's not doodle.
Why not?
Because I have a cavapoo.
I know, but
I have a
okay,
poo.
fine. I'll accept it.
Listen, I had a shih tzu. Now I got a poo.
You had a shit.
I got a shit. I got a poo.
Okay.
Maybe next time we'll get a Duke. I don't know.
Okay, so you have a poo next door.
We have a poo next door. And she'll bark at him all day and get excited.
Okay.
She hears his chain. She gets excited. They're face to face. What's I'm doing?
Oh, it's
It's
just
just
like,
all about the game. It's about.
and she's the opposite. You've seen her in action.
Oh no, she needs to see another dog.
She is, and it's not every dog. Some dogs she can brush them right off, and she's like, I don't care. I
They
don't
could
need to
be
say hi
across
to
the
you.
street from each other if we're walking. We see them on a walk. She needs to get up to him, just to do nothing. She's got to make noise, and she got to be annoying. And like, man, if the dog is barking at me and I'm a random stranger,
Yeah,
I'm not going to your dog.
yeah.
I'm not going.
So Brooklyn doesn't always bark at other dogs. Sometimes she does, but it's a reactivity thing that I've done a ton of research on that I've been trying to work with her on, and she's gotten much, much better over time because I've really tried with her. But sometimes like it's like they have like thresholds. And with her, if a dog stares at her for too long, if we are stationary for too long, if the other dog is stationary for too long, or we're just way too close, but she can't get to them, absolute meltdown. But then once she meets them, she's totally fine. And off leash, perfect angel. Perfect angel. She's like, we go to the dog park. Everybody loves her. She plays well with every dog. She doesn't have any issues. Like, it's bizarre. I can't make sense of it.
No, because they give you every reason to not trust them. They give you every reason to not trust them.
Well, the other day, I had her off the leash because I'm also training her to walk off the leash, which she's doing a phenomenal job at.
It terrifies me. I'm too neurotic. I think that.
I mean, I put way too much trust in her.
Yeah.
She's usually pretty good, but the other day, I opened the door, did not know there was like an AT&T worker outside.
Oh.
And then also this guy and his dog who, for whatever reason, she despises this dog. Like every time she sees this dog from inside the house, she flips out.
Is she too good for the dog? Is she like I'm better than you kind of? Because Jessie will look at other dogs, down on other dogs.
No, I really don't think so. I think she genuinely like wants to befriend every dog and be social. Even people, like when people say hello to me on the street, she like thinks it's an invitation to go say hello. But like the other day, I opened the door, she charged at this dog. And I got so nervous because I'm like, I don't know what this dog's going to do. Like, it's not even about what she's going to do. I know she's not going to attack it, but like, what if this other dog is caught off guard and decides to like bite my dog?
When we see other dogs in like, or if we're walking like a straight line and a dog makes a turn, it comes out of nowhere, she'll stop. She'll look at me and be like, the fuck is this thing doing? Look at it, this dumb thing on a leash.
No.
Yeah, she looks
And then
down
she
on
can
other
just
dogs.
carry on.
And
She's
she'll
fine.
just walk past it.
But that's great. Brooklyn will stop and look at me sometimes, not look at me most times. And she's just like locked in.
No, she wants nothing to do with them.
And then we have to track the dog.
It's like,
Then we have to track its scent. Then we have to follow it.
yeah, no, there's a moment when like maybe in passing she'll just go. That's it. Once we get
No,
past,
my dog is insane.
we get past something, she kind of forgets about it, which is good.
That is good.
But sometimes I've noticed like there's a paper bag in the street and it's wet, so there's a smell to it. So all right, we gotta get her away from that bag. So we go like south instead of going north.
Why, you don't want her to sniff the bag?
In the middle of the street that she's pulling into the street? No, not really.
Fair enough.
So I'll avoid it because like you're just causing too much problem.
Yeah,
for
also
me.
it's good to let them not
And I kind of give her
go to everything.
I give her some freedom when we're walking, meaning like we step outside the house, you want to go left or right. All right, fine. We go around the block this way. Now, do you want to go across the street or do you want to stay on this side? I give her a little bit of freedom to decide which way she wants to walk. Um, she will always guide me back to that spot if I've made a big deal about not using it, not smelling it. Like, she wanted to poop on someone's lawn, and a guy came outside. I was like, not here. I clean up after my dog like a normal human being. But other people are weird. We have one neighbor who's got this sensor on his grass that makes this like noise that bothers me if I'm in the vicinity of this sensor.
That's
Because he's
weird.
trying to deter dogs. Is he trying to deter dogs or raccoons? Man, you don't care if a raccoon is in your yard at 2 in the morning.
We have people in our neighborhood who have signs, and like some of them are kind of rude signs where they're like, "I don't use your lawn as a bathroom. Like, don't let your dog use mine."
Yeah,
I'm like, look, I'll do my best, but if my dog like needs to go to the bathroom, like, which like she rings the bell to go to the bathroom, by the way. I don't think she has to. I think she's just
no, they ring the bell.
asking for attention.
Jesse has an outside bell. They ring it when they want to go outside, and also when they want to open the door. Also when they just want you to stand up. But then they
Attention.
also ring the bell because they're bored.
Yeah, she wants attention. She's at her food bowl right now. She also uses it to communicate with me. Like, and like when I mean communicate, I really mean communicate. Like when she's done eating her food or drinking water from her bowl, she will go ring the bell to be like, "I'm done."
For Jessie, so she's got 2 buttons right now.
Mm.
She's got one for the back door for outside, and she got another one for the food. She will not ring the food one.
You give her a bell for food.
I want her to be able to tell me when she's hungry.
Well, because Brooklyn does that. She doesn't like I kind of have to figure it out if it's food or not, but I know her and we're on a schedule. So.
Dylan was much better at it. Dylan would scratch at her bowl and let you know she was hungry or thirsty or what have you. Jessie doesn't. Jessie will be dehydrated if there's no water. So
No,
we had to get her like this 2-gallon thing that keeps the water cold because she won't find her water. When she was a puppy, she had a problem finding her water, so she needed a sound.
Interesting.
This is what I mean by developmentally behind.
Well, I just think they're quirky. Like they just like have things about like Brooklyn does things that are weird.
She
Like
hates eye contact.
when Brooklyn sees something, which I think a lot of dogs probably do this, but like, you know, she sees something on the table that is normally not there.
But they're so special. Like, okay, so this for me, Jesse's my second dog. I grew up with a dog for 16 years named Dylan, who during quarantine she lost a leg, so we had a 3-legged dog for a couple years, and that was like such an experience of like having a dog that really needed you.
Yeah.
And especially those
was
last
so
couple of
cute,
years, and
Dylan.
I was home a lot more in her last year, which I guess I'm grateful for now.
Yeah.
In a way. And I kind of remember the last few days, and like she had a stroke, and I was there the moment she had it, and she was like passing out for the last year, and that stuff is hard.
Yeah.
And then like we waited for. She passed away in October. We got another dog. We got Jessie in February. 4 months, I guess. 5 months. No, 4 months. I would get a dog a week later. That 4 months is hard.
She just ate. She might ring the bell.
Great. Those like that's hard. Those 4 months of not having an animal and having a dog, and now that I have a different dog, the difference between Dylan and Jessie is my dog.
Yeah.
Jessie, I get to make decisions for.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that she's mine. She's still a family dog.
You take care of
But
her.
I am an adult now. I'm not an 8-year-old who got a puppy.
Right.
What's that experience been like for you? Because you grew up with a dog, and now this is your dog and your decisions.
It's kind of like the same thing. We got Daisy, our family dog, who's about 10 or 11 now. We got her when I was in high school, and my mom did everything. She trained her, she slept with her, she took her out, she did everything for her. Hey, Brooklyn, come join us. And we didn't really help. Like, and we even still, like, as adults are like, ugh, we don't want to walk Daisy. And she's a very, like, also particular dog. She's got a ton of personality, ton of quirks. She's an interesting pet. And having Brooklyn has been really interesting. Brooklyn really changed my life. I got her. I didn't really feel prepared to get my own dog. I didn't feel adult enough, and I didn't feel like I was really scared when we decided that we were going to get a dog, and we were going to literally when we were going to get her. I kept saying, like, I can't believe I'm about to bring a living, breathing thing back to my house and I have to take care of it. Like,
It's nerve-wracking that
there's no going back. I
and
have to care for
they
this
and they're going to
creature.
depend on you forever. They're not a kid who, at least when
No.
a kid is 7 years old, they can say, "Mommy, my head hurts."
Yeah, no.
No, you have to figure it out the entire time. And like with Dylan, it took until her last like 3 or 4 years where I think I finally understood her language.
Mm-hmm.
Where now with Jessie, it's like telepathy. It's like I know exactly what she
Me
wants. I
too.
know exactly what she
Me
needs.
too.
And it's like people are like, "How'd you know? How'd you know that
I
that's what she
just
wants?" I
know.
was like, "No,
And
you got a connection with
I'm
this
like
thing."
that too. Like, first of all, because she's my dog and I've been taking care of her since she's a baby and she's a part of my life. She's also a part of my routine.
Hmm.
And having a routine with her has been really big and really nice and um I that's how I think I know. Like I know right now it's almost 10 o'clock. It's bedtime.
Hmm.
She's gonna either like settle down right now and go to sleep. She's gonna either ask to go to bed. But I know these things about her. And I just know what she wants. Like Anthony will be like, she has to go outside. She has to do this. I'm like, no, she doesn't. I know what she needs. Like I know what she wants. Like this is my girl. Like we spend so much time together. I spent so much time like raising her, which is crazy. Like
And that's what
I
you
talk to
raise
her
it.
like she's my baby, but she is like I don't have children. I haven't had children and this is like my first experience like taking care of another like I've been a nanny before so I know what it's like to take care of kids, but this is my first like living breathing thing that I am
Like
taking care of and am responsible for.
I don't know. Like I always thought about like being a dad one day, and like the idea of it is exciting.
Mhm.
And then like at some point it became not exciting to me. I guess because I got hurt, and it was like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And it took me a while to get back to the idea like that I want to do that. And part of it was having this dog
Don't
around.
you feel like when you do things like with your dog, you're like, which is
Mhm.
crazy for
Well,
anyone
this is what I was
watching,
gonna say. This
for
is what
anyone watching
I
that
think we have
has
the same
kids,
idea.
like I can do this.
Well, yeah, in a way, like I don't know. I never thought I was responsible enough to have another life entrusted with me.
Hmm.
Never in a million years would I have. I'm too
Yeah.
busy. I don't have enough time for the people I love sometimes.
Yeah.
So like,
But you
how is something going to
realize
depend on me? I cook this dog two
you
meals a day. I
you
make
real
her eggs in the
I think
morning.
it's
We have a bag of
hmm
Costco meat there's a Jessie tax. So when we separate the meat to put in the freezer, like
cute.
a little portion of it goes in the Jessie bag.
Of course.
And we make this dog pasta. We make her steak. We
I
make
don't
her
condone.
pork, and we make her
My
lamb.
dog's
And
on dog food.
she eats kibble
My
too.
dog has to be on dog food.
So we wanted to do farmer's dog, and we tried that because that's the healthiest to me thing on the market for
Yeah.
dogs. It's real food, and she would not eat it. My dog needs hot food. If the dog is eating food that's not hot enough,
Well, they're smart
she
too.
won't eat it.
They know. They know what's better. They know. They know.
I
She
remind her,
knows.
and I like to look at her in the eye when I tell her this. Her ancestors are disappointed in her.
Oh yeah.
They're
I
just
always say
they're
she would
bringing
never survive in the
they're
wild.
bringing back dire wolves, and in
What's
10,
that?
oh my god, dire wolves like from like mythical creatures that existed 10,000 years ago. They're bringing them back.
Okay. Did you say mystical meaning
Mythical,
mythical, which also
like not
insinuates
real.
fake?
Exactly, like
So
because
they're
they're
bringing them back?
no,
How?
because they haven't been around in 10,000 years. And they found DNA in the Arctic that belongs to these creatures, and enough of the DNA. I think his name is Ben Lumen. Let me make sure. And he's doing
Is
this
this
incredible
real?
work. What?
Is this real?
This is real. Yeah, he brought back Willie Mammoth. He's trying to bring back Willie Mammoth. You never seen the Willie Mouse?
No.
I'm gonna bring up the Willie Mouse. The Willie Mouse is cute. Willie Mouse is cute.
I'm scared of that. Woolly mouse?
Yeah, like a Willie Mammoth.
I know what you mean.
How do you
So
spell
is
Willie
he
Mammoth?
experimenting on the mice? And
Woolly
he
Mammoth Mouse. Well, no, they
Dude,
put
this is why like I would never know this information if I didn't know
look.
you.
It's a woolly mouse.
That's cute, but is that not just a mouse?
Mouse.
Is that not just a mouse?
No, it's got woolly mammoth DNA in it.
So what happens
They
to it?
genetically created it to see what would happen, and it's a
Look
mouse.
at it. It's so cute.
So, dire wolf, Ben Lumen, I think. Ben.
See, like I think she just went to bed.
Good.
She got sick of us, and she's like, "Oh, they're not going to."
Yeah, he's the CEO of Colossal. Ben Lamb,
So
Lamm.
are these wolves?
So yeah, like look, so dire wolf.
How did we get here?
Dogs and my dog.
Oh,
Her
the
ancestors. Her
ancestors. Okay.
ancestors are
Just making
embarrassed.
sure I'm tracking, because we do this.
Dire wolf.
We get really off track.
What do you look? Dire wolf back. The return of the dire wolf. Yeah, April 7th. So look, Time Magazine did it. These are like, look, they're back. Dire wolves are coming back. These are never going to hit the wild. They're going to live their entire life in captivity.
In a sanctuary.
In a sanctuary. But like, the idea is that eventually we will put these back in the wild. We will reintegrate them into the world. What they're doing is basically Jurassic Park. They're taking these like mosquitoes and other like ancient things that we know have existed
Yeah.
and seeing what DNA we could pull from it.
I mean, that's amazing.
And like saber-toothed tigers, they said there's not enough. Not enough DNA out there yet.
Shame.
But like, imagine bringing back the dodo bird. Sick.
I always hoped I would see a dodo bird in my lifetime.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know their function. I know they don't fly.
Yeah.
And they're extinct. But other than that,
so they have no purpose.
No purpose. But like, the whole idea with this thing and bringing back the dire wolves is that like we have rhinoceroses that are still alive right now, but are rapidly becoming extinct, or certain species of elephants. So, and we know how those animals are coded and how they exist currently.
Yeah.
So that would be a lot easier to recreate if we can successfully do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible for like the world and
No, it's
our
amazing.
oceans. Could you imagine trying to repopulate the oceans? You could.
Yeah. Could you?
Why not? If they function
But
biologically.
where do they find the DNA? Like how they're doing it with the dire wolves?
Well,
like, can they find DNA?
Why bluefin tunas exist? They're still in the ocean.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean.
So if
not necessarily like extinct,
it's not extinct,
nearly extinct.
Nearly extinct, and then you can start breeding these things for the purpose of consumption. So then maybe you can stop.
Why consumption?
Because why? Then maybe we could stop fishing. Our ocean's dry.
I see.
Or we can stop making like fake cows to eat. Instead, you can make a fake cow.
I see.
But it's biologically a cow. And eventually that'll become food. And that's like other ways that we could repopulate the food supply that everyone seems to be worried about.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of worried about. And people are worried about things to an extent. They're worried about things on the surface. And then they dig deeper and they're like, oh, it's really not a problem.
Interesting.
Science
is cool.
Science is cool. And I'm not really a science person. Never
Science
was good at it. The thing about science, just like a lot of subjects in school, you gotta find a niche.
Yeah.
Science is too broad and too big where, hey, maybe it's not biology. Maybe it's not chemistry. But there should be like a general science class where like, okay, this is the science you want to learn.
But you can't have a general science class
Why not?
because it's specific.
Why not? Why can't you split up the first year of freshman year of high school into 4 topics? And then from those 4 topics, you have 3 years to pick
In
one.
my freshman year of high school, I took biology.
Yeah, so did I. I hated it. Wasn't good at it. I wasn't good at biology, I wasn't good at chemistry, and I wasn't good at physics. However,
yeah,
I guess maybe I'm not good at any science. Maybe I'm just interested a little bit.
I was good at physics. I was bad at chem, which is crazy. My dad's a chemist.
Physics, I don't think I really had a teacher for physics.
I loved physics, but it was math. And I used to be good at math.
I used to be good at math. I was good at math up until freshman year of high school. That's when I really dropped off.
Stopped being good at math in college at one point. I took an algebra course in college and a statistics course, both miserable. And then I went to law school. So I was like, I don't need math.
I was good at math up until like that point in middle school, like 8th grade, 9th grade, when I started taking high school level classes.
Yeah.
Because I think my problem was I was in honors classes from like kindergarten, the Delta program it was called. It was enriching, and I did get a lot of things out of it. However, if it were my kid, hindsight being 2020, and knowing what I had been through and the stress and the pressure of just being in that class that you don't realize that you were, that was put on you, and the extra workload, I shut off. I turned off, and I still have that problem where like, all right, stressing me out, I turn off. And it's about, I was just very, very bad at that, where like, I think I'd rather my kid be the smartest in the second best class than the dumbest in the best class.
That's interesting.
Because I'm a smart kid. Like, I was a smart kid.
Yeah.
And I think I can hold
That's interesting.
intellectual, intelligent conversations that are better, more than surface level. But I think I'm maybe more an intellectual than an intelligent person. Because I do prefer this. Human interaction I'm good with this.
Mhm.
The X's and O's of things I need explained to me a little bit.
Well, there's
I'm
like,
intuitive, and I'm
yeah.
I guess I don't know what it is
It's like
about
how
me.
people say street smart, book smart, all that. I don't know if it's like you're one or the other, you have a mix of both or what. But I think that's interesting what you said about like I'd rather my kid be the smartest kid in the second.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really interesting. Never thought about that.
Because
Because I get it, like the pressure, like imagine being surrounded by the smartest kids in the school, and then you're not the smartest of the smartest kids in school. Like that sounds like
I got to make a decision. The only time in my life growing up that I think I really made my own decision, and of course I ended up getting punished for it. I played baseball at Our Lady of Grace, in-house baseball, and it got to a point where I was getting better, and I wanted to play more. I didn't want to not play for Our Lady of Grace. I just wanted more baseball. I wanted to pitch more. I wanted to hit more. I wanted to do more. So we went to this team, travel team called the Warriors. Not very good. And my dad had asked me, what's the difference if you're pitching on this travel team
yeah.
or the Little League of Our Lady of Grace's Little League, in-house league? The kids are making errors behind you. They're not hitting the ball. You're getting blown out, and I'm getting taken out of the game in the second inning because I threw 1,000 pitches because there was 18 errors behind me. And he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, if I go to a better team, I'm not going to pitch because on this team, I'm a top 3 pitcher. You only have 3 or 4 pitchers.
That's so interesting.
But if I go to like Bergen Beach, where I'm not going to play. I'm not going to pitch for them. And that happened to me once I moved to Long Island. When I went to Massapequa, I was a pitcher. I did not like the outfield. I could not track a baseball. I played a little bit of first base, but I wasn't very good at that. And I realized that like 2 years ago that I wasn't good at first base playing softball.
That's so interesting.
But it was one of those things where like I was a pitcher, and that was the one thing I was good at. I wasn't a great hitter. Then I got pretty good at it. Like I could put the ball in play. But I was a pitcher. I learned how to pitch with my friend Andre at PS204 schoolyard in the winter when I was like 11 or 12 years old. I just decided I was done being the shit kid on the team. I was done being shit, and I always had a good arm because that's why they would put me in the outfield, because I would make an error, but then I'd get the ball in. So.
Do you think that was the right decision in the end?
To become a pitcher?
To stay on a team where you can pitch more and be one of the top pitchers or players on the team versus going to a team that maybe had better players, but you wouldn't have pitched.
Yeah, because I'd rather pitch 5 innings where I was pissed that no one did anything behind me than be a relief pitcher for a good team.
I just asked, I think that's interesting because while you were talking, I'm trying to think of like if I've had a similar decision that I ever had to make, and like really related to sports because I played sports growing up. And I guess like I did, but I made the opposite choice where I was playing travel soccer and I was part of one team and I loved my team and we were great, but we were kind of the B team. But I was really good. And I was like one of the better players and the starters on this team. Everyone was great, and there were a lot of girls who were starters and like also like top players on the team. It's not like the team was bad, but there was another team that was just like at a higher level, and I was asked to play with them also. And I knew when I was if I played with them, I might be benched more often. And also these girls were not like super nice, and it was cliquey, and they were all really, really good. And I decided to play with them, and it actually made me better.
See, okay, both things can be true.
True.
Both things can be true. I feel like I was at a place, like I said, I learned how to pitch when I was only like 11 or 12. So I only had X amount of years left, and I knew that. Little League runs out. and I wanted to get the most out of it, and I wanted to
Totally.
play the most.
Different stakes
And
too, I think.
100%.
Like travel
I
soccer was serious.
Yes, travel soccer is travel baseball is a very big deal, but travel baseball is also one of those things where like there are B, C, and D
I thought you
teams.
were 11.
No. By the time I got to this team, I was probably in high school already.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was 11 or 12
I
when I
was in high
really started.
school.
When I started throwing with Andre in the, didn't tell my dad, didn't tell anybody. I just gave Andre a glove and I said, "Hey, I want to learn how to pitch." And I thought I was throwing a four-seam fastball, throwing a palm ball, which ended up being a pitch that I used because I preferred that to a changeup, like
Yeah.
as an off speed. And I would just throw the ball and I would just throw strikes. And then I wasn't very fast, so I learned how to move things around and throw a two-seam fastball because it moved a little bit this way. And I really, really got good at throwing like 3 or 4 pitches that I was really, really like in tune with because I was older. I knew older, 12 years old, but I was
Yeah.
older in terms of like, all right, there's only 6 years left and I've been doing this for 6. So I'm at the back half.
Isn't it amazing? Like why does that sound so mature? Like it's a mature decision to make in a way for like an 11, 12-year-old of like I have this much time, like being actually strategic about it.
It was this idea that like I got out of elementary school, which is so funny and silly to say out loud because like I didn't even think about it this deeply then. And
Yeah.
it's just one of the, so we
Yeah.
went to our old schoolyard to pick up our siblings every day from middle school, and we had time to kill. We'd go get snacks, we'd go to the schoolyard, and we would throw. He was a catcher. I wanted to be a pitcher.
Yeah.
And I ended up turning myself into a pitcher. I only got in. First time they were going to put me in, again, my dad was the coach, and he didn't trust me to pitch. And I would get in once a year, every year, the years before that, because I was not good. I was not controlled. And it would be like the last game of the year, let everyone throw.
Yeah.
Let the kids that want to pitch. And it was like,
That
okay.
doesn't actually make you feel
No, it
good.
does not make you feel good. And it makes you feel worse when there's only 6 innings and you were the 6th guy and they only played 5 that day.
Yeah.
What do you mean I didn't get to pitch today? So it really meant a lot to me to want to become a pitcher. And I did. And so the outing before my first outing, they put me in the bullpen. We were up by a little bit. I'll never forget. This kid, Aris, was pitching. And I went into the bullpen to throw. And I threw a ball that was so wild it ended up at the backstop of the actual catcher during the game. And the kid, Aris, was pitching and just looked at me and looked at my father. And I did not go into the game. I did not go. However, I then came into the next game because we were up by a lot. The pitcher, my friend Anthony, he was the best pitcher on the team. And he was throwing a no-hitter.
Yeah.
We fucking finished it.
Wow.
We fucking finished it. I pitched 3 innings. We pitched a combined no-hitter. That was fucking crazy. I never did that again. Because I played in that little league for my whole life and everyone knew me. They knew me as the right fielder, the kid that batted lefty and sometimes righty because
this is who's gonna come out.
yeah, this is who's coming to pitch, the kid that can't throw the ball from second base.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck yeah, I did. Fuck yeah. And then so now years later, I stopped playing for this other team. They found out I was doing both, and that's no good at the in-house league. I never missed a game from them. They suspended me for an entire season of basketball. I made a decision to play more baseball in my own time. I missed games for that team, not my in-house team. And the punishment is supposed to be banned from baseball. I can't play the year of baseball. And they did me a favor because I apologized for wanting to play more baseball as a child. They made me apologize. Grown men made me
Don't get me started.
apologize.
On the things like as a kid, you like had to do because adults like couldn't control themselves. Like insane. I played a lot of sports growing up. I honestly the only sport I like didn't do was basketball. I did try softball.
I love basketball.
Not my thing.
I played 2 years.
Don't love basketball. Don't love it. Not good at it, but it's okay.
I wanted to keep moving. Once I became a pitcher, it was like, all right, what else can I do? I wasn't going to the gym. It was 14.
Yeah, my sports were my main sports for a very long time were soccer and swim. I did run track, cross country and track for like a couple years. But I hated my coach. And it's fine, honestly. I was doing enough running. And yeah, I did swim for a long time. What happened?
Right back.
You're okay? I
It's part
love
of
to
the process.
swim. Actually, I really want to get back into swimming, but I
So
can't find a fucking pool. I
everyone's
really don't want to pay a gym membership just for a pool.
everyone's telling me that I should swim because of my back,
I mean, it's just amazing.
but I'm afraid of like, as if I get a Charlie horse and sink to the bottom.
You won't. And you swim where there's lifeguards.
There's no lifeguards at the gym.
The gym pool?
I don't. Well, my gym currently doesn't have a pool actually anymore.
Yeah,
My
so
old gym had a
I mean, I
pool.
would hope.
I wouldn't touch that thing.
I would hope that pools have lifeguards. Now that I think about it, they
Not for
should.
adults. Adult pools don't have lifeguards. Adults don't drown. Yeah, adults don't drown.
Good to know.
Yeah, adult swim. Have you
You
ever seen?
should sign up as a kid when I go to the gym.
Have you ever seen an adult swim class?
I actually looked into taking a few like lessons when I was here. I don't really need them. Like I'm a very good swimmer. But I was like, oh, like I haven't like swam in a while. And I was like doing some shopping around and um I even called this woman and she was like, yeah, you probably don't need to take any lessons. Like you can just join and then like the next step was like joining like a team. I'm like, I don't want to compete. I
I
just want to like swim.
used to do these swim classes at Fort Hamilton.
Yeah, that pool?
Uh-huh.
The outdoor pool?
No. That's Poly Prep.
Oh, that's probably prep.
I did swim lessons there too as a kid. Actually, I did do swim lessons at Poly Prep as a kid. But no, I
'Cause I've
did
been to that pool.
the swim. They weren't necessarily swim lessons. It was more like we would learn like
Where
how
the
to
hell's the pool?
inside.
Hamilton?
There's one inside the school.
I didn't know that. I've never been.
Yeah, I think it was Fort Hamilton.
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
I'm almost certain it was Fort
They have a
Hamilton.
pool?
Yeah, inside.
I've never been. So
I think Fort Hamilton High School has a pool, and I think that's where I had these swim lessons.
Can you fact check that?
I have no idea. I think it was Fort
Because I
Hamilton.
really want to know if it's not.
New
then
Utrecht High
where?
School has a pool.
What?
New Utrecht High School has a pool, and it's so old that
Why
my
the fuck are they putting these pools?
oh my god! It's not only do they have a pool, it's like one of those things that like when I was in high school, the whole joke was there's a pool on the roof. They really had a pool in New Utrecht High School,
No
and the
way.
pool is so old that my 85-year-old grandmother swam in it.
Oh.
Fort Hamilton High School
I didn't even know.
pool. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't. When I grew up, I grew
Yeah.
up
Okay. Cool. I'm not
going
crazy.
in
They had a pool,
state
and this is the
of
pool.
dives
This is the
where-
pool I swam in.
What the hell?
Yeah. So this was like an
You know what? I could have gone here when I was
young
a
adult
kid.
swim class because I knew how to swim, but it was more like people who wanted to be on the swim team, and I really wanted to do it, and I was a pretty good swimmer.
And I think I've been here. I think I've
And
been
I
here.
was a pretty good. I was a pretty good swimmer, and I was competing. But within these swim class, I never actually did it competitively. Well, then I moved. I didn't move out to Long Island yet. I was a camp counselor out in Long Beach while living in Brooklyn. And I don't know, one of the guys wanted to race. So I was like, fuck yeah. I'll show you what Brooklyn has got in the water. He did 2 laps before I finished half of one. Fucking crazy.
Coop, if someone's asking you to race,
Excuse me, at that same beach club, I came in 4th place
I know,
in
but
a
like,
running race among all 13-year-olds.
Oh.
There was 4 people racing. I came in 4th.
How old were you?
14, 13 maybe, but it was among my age. Excuse me. I came in 4th in a running race. This is all my kids need to know.
Okay.
I came in 4th in a running race. There was 1,000 kids, and I came 4th. However, the kid that came in 3rd had a boot on because he had broken his foot or something.
Okay.
And the other 996 kids don't exist.
Yeah, I figured there weren't
It was-
1,000 fucking kids.
It was just 4 of us,
Yeah.
and I came in 4th. But I got a fucking trophy, and that's in my. Out of all of the trophies I have, I
Oh,
won
you got
baseball.
a 4th place trophy.
Yeah, because they gave it to all the top 5 places because like
Oh.
you had 37-year-olds that
Thanks for
wanted to run.
competing.
No. No, because this didn't say participation. Not everyone got one. I came top 5. There happened to only be 4 people racing that day. I was not a runner. I'm not a runner. I've never been a runner. I have one that's a Silver Point Beach Club. Place boys.
Very nice. I'm glad.
It's like I said, I got rid of. I finally did that thing where I never thought I would clean out my childhood bedroom.
You did?
Like, kind of.
You got rid of things from your
All in
childhood?
the attic. And I have boxes and stuff. I don't get rid of them completely.
Okay, you just moved them.
But like after getting hurt, there was this whole thing in my head where I'm like, I'm staring at the walls I've been staring at for 15 years.
Fair enough.
I was a 15-year-old who could not wait to get out of this room, could not wait to go see my friends, get the fuck out of my house, and move the fuck out. I dreamed of it. I tasted it. Well, now I'm 27 and considering all technicalities, I am
Yeah.
unemployed.
Yeah.
Technically, which is fucking bullshit because I pride myself in working.
Yeah.
I fucking loved it. Anyway, besides the point, couldn't stare at the walls anymore.
Yeah.
Couldn't stare at like my 2012 Brooklyn Nets poster anymore.
Yeah, I don't really blame you for that. I think you outgrow it at some point.
Yeah, and I got a 65-inch TV for my bedroom.
Love.
Oh my god. Again, I got it.
Like this size TV in your bedroom?
Yeah, 65. It's the biggest TV in my house. Didn't tell my mom how big it was. And we're
I
sitting
think
down.
you told me this.
We're sitting down for dinner, and my mom knows I got a TV.
Yeah.
And she knows it's kind of big. She saw it. She knows it's a big TV, but I will not tell her it's 65 inches because that's ridiculous. Like, who needs a TV that big?
It's like a movie, like a movie
it's
theater
fucking
in your
awesome.
room.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
We're sitting down to dinner, and my dad knows how big the TV is. He knows I got it. He helped me. He put it in my bedroom for me. I couldn't
Yeah.
carry it. So, you're sitting down to dinner. He goes, "So, Joe, TV in your room. It's bigger than the basement TV, right?" It's like,
But why was this a big deal that your mom did? Like, is she gonna be mad that you got a TV that big?
no. Who do you think sits in my fucking bedroom when I'm not in it? She hated the big TV when I got it, but now I got the sleep number bed, big TV. She puts her feet up. She's comfy.
Oh shit.
She'll be there all week while I'm not home.
Oh shit.
I know it. That's fine.
Wow. Ag.
I
love that though.
She was mad. She was so mad I got the big TV. My reasoning was when I got hurt, I'm not going to be hurt forever.
Mm.
I'm going to be moving out soon.
Yeah.
When I got hurt in March of 2023. I was like, I'll be back for the Rangers playoffs. I'll be back.
Yeah.
They made the Eastern Conference Finals last year and I didn't work a playoff game. So I was like, all right, I've needed a TV and it bothered me. I got a TV when I moved in to this house. The PlayStation 4 came out and I needed a TV for my room. So I got a new TV. So now I've had the PS5 for a couple years and I've wanted a new TV. And it's something I had thought about. So I bought it. Everyone should have a 65-inch TV in their room.
Agreed.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm not a TV in the bedroom person, but
It's my own. It's the only space that exists for me.
Totally. I mean, this is different situations we're
Mhm.
talking about. I never had a TV in my room growing up until I was in high school, and I watched way too much TV in high school. So now now that I don't believe in them being in the TV, but I have a 65-inch TV in my living room, and I love it.
Yeah.
And we're moving to a smaller space.
And it's gonna take up so much. It's gonna look so much better.
Yeah, and he's like, we should get a different TV, and I'm like,
Get it bigger.
yeah. He's like, a bigger TV, and I'm like, no, the wall is probably the same size as the
Awesome.
TV.
That's how it
No,
should.
that looks ridiculous.
No, it's awesome.
No, at some point I have to draw the line. Like, aesthetics are important as well.
Well, I love the movie theater.
I don't.
So we're different.
Yeah.
I like it to be. I turn the lights off when I watch a movie. I need it dark. I need it
Well,
quiet.
we talked about this. I don't watch movies.
I want to be in a movie. See, I love movies. So I was really big into TV. Where like I wanted to watch what everybody was watching. I want to watch what everybody's talking about. I want to be able to have those conversations.
Yeah.
And I've always liked movies, but my father didn't show me good ones growing up. Like I didn't see The Godfather until I was 21.
Mm.
And growing up Italian.
Do you think you need to see The Godfather before you're 21?
Yes.
In high school?
Yeah, why not? If I'm a high school age Italian boy, yeah, you should watch The Godfather.
Okay.
Whoa, why
When
is it
did you
bad?
watch The Sopranos for the first time?
After I watched The Godfather.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Life changing.
Yeah.
Life changing. That's another
Now
show.
imagine you watched it in high school.
I watched. Yeah, exactly. I watched that show. I watched that show 3 times now. The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I usually watch it every 2 years, and I watched it between 2 and 3 was 6 months.
I actually have only seen it once.
It
There are
holds
some
up.
parts of the show that I'm just like, don't love.
There's no, but it's.
But
to
I
me,
appreciate it so much for the art that it is.
and it's the rawest. It's the besides like the mob stuff.
Yeah, like
it's the closest thing to Italian dynamics I've seen on TV.
Like family dynamics maybe a little bit. Yeah, like I mean again, like I think the I would love to have more like representation of Italian Americans on TV that are not mob related.
What else do Italians do? What's what?
I
If
guess
you
like
put on the
nothing.
TV, we're mobsters.
I guess nothing interesting.
No, sometimes we're like the sketchy lawyer. Like, the lawyer that's wearing like the big suit that is like he's a
guess.
quack. Yeah, we're that on TV too.
Yeah, I guess it would just be interesting. Like I remember
Edie Falco went from playing a mob wife to playing a nurse.
Yeah.
Who had to do drugs, of course.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't just
I mean,
she
Nurse Jack
couldn't
is a great show.
she couldn't just be a nurse.
That's a good show. She's phenomenal in general. But I don't know, it'd just be interesting. Like I remember a few years ago when that show Fresh Off the Boat came out, and it's about like this Asian American or
good show. I
Fantastic
love him.
show.
What's his Randall Park?
Oh my god.
Randall Park is awesome.
So funny.
He's so good.
I just watched before we get back to that. I just watched The Residence on Netflix. He's in it. I think he's in it.
What's that about?
It's about a murder that happens at the White House during a state dinner. It's a comedy, but it's like a Murder on the Orient Express vibe.
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you want to watch it? I'll rewatch it right
yeah.
now because I literally just watched it over the weekend and it was so good.
I watched. Have you ever seen the movie Bullet Train?
Yes.
Oh, I love that movie. I could watch it a million times.
Me
They're doing an
too.
airplane version. Oh no. Did they do an airplane version?
Wait, I love Bullet Train so much, and I have not met somebody else that really loves it the way that I do.
An airplane version because I saw a movie with Jason Bateman recently that they
I love.
which was on Netflix where he's blowing up an airport or a plane or something.
That's not the TSA movie, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was good.
Is that what's his name too? Joel Egerton or whatever his name is? Or is that a different airplane? Okay, different.
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
It doesn't matter, and I might be saying his name wrong, but The Residence is great.
That sounds
it's
good.
A comedy. It's
I
fun.
like things about the White House. I like things that kind of even if
I love it because you get it like whatever set they're using. I'm like, oh my god, have you ever toured the White House?
No, I want to.
It's so realistic and
dream.
it's just amazing. The show's really really good. It's very well done. I love it. But
I had a couple of
I don't remember.
like I would say people I know, but I don't really know them. But I know people who take tours of the Capitol.
Okay.
Here and there.
Anyway, let's go back to what I was going to say because I'm not talking about it.
Capitol. If you ask, you have to ask permission to do that.
Okay.
You have to ask your senator.
Thank you.
It's the same thing with the White House, right? You don't have to write a letter. Don't you have to write a letter to get to the White House? You don't just like knock on the door and say, "Can I have a tour?"
I think part of the White House is like a museum or something, and you get.
Yeah, but I don't think you could just go see it. I think the Capitol is the same thing. You have to write a letter to your congressman or your someone. Or I went to DC like twice, and that's what they told me I had to. Is why I never saw the White House. I'm not writing a letter.
I have no idea. I don't know.
These are our buildings. These are the people's buildings. Why can't I go in them?
National security.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, fine. Then the guy is a billionaire. Let him keep the lights on.
Listen, what was I saying before about
But
Italian
knock on the-
Americans?
If I got to use the bathroom, why can't I? And I pay for it.
We're getting off track here because I don't really know if I agree with that.
You don't think?
Do I think I should just get to walk into the White House and use the bathroom?
Okay, fine. The White House I might be able to into because the president lives there. But
that's what's so good about the show because you get to. They talk about the residences.
That's
Also,
the part I like.
Remember House of Cards?
That's what I was gonna say. I liked House of Cards because it's the idea that
Yeah.
it's the White House, and I don't have no idea if the White House actually looks this way, but in my head, it does. Like I can walk around the White House right now and get you to back staircases because that's where Kevin Spacey was drinking vodka with the Russian president. Like I can get you there.
Yeah. No, the show's really good.
Kevin Spacey, he's broke now. What a shame.
Also, not talking about him.
Oh, what a shame. No Kevin Spacey talk?
No, I'm not interested.
See the movie American Beauty?
No.
Weirder now.
Haven't seen it.
Great movie. Great
get the
movie.
joke.
Love that movie. It's about Kevin Spacey.
The only other thing I've seen him in is Usual Suspects,
Watch American Beauty.
which is great.
Watch American Beauty. American Beauty is a phenomenal movie. But it's about a man going through a midlife crisis who's attracted to his daughter's friend in high school. And he fantasizes about her. Partly in the movie.
Don't think I'll watch that, but thank you.
You don't think you'll watch that? It's more than just that. It's a very good movie. And it was a good movie when it came out, but then when you now know about Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, I think that's why I would
I
prefer
kind
not
of
to.
feel like he might have pitched this movie. He might have been like, hey, what if we do a movie where I get to fuck a teenage girl? And it was like,
I'm done.
okay, Kevin Spacey.
Moving on.
Sickos, all of them.
Mm,
All of them. Every one of them in
I'm
Hollywood.
telling you, I won't watch it.
It's a good movie.
Good. Good.
It's a good movie.
I'm actually okay, and we've had this conversation where I don't watch movies. I'm actually okay with like never seeing movies.
See,
Like,
but so that was my problem. So like my dad didn't show me movies, so I didn't see good ones. I've never seen the Titanic. There's still 100 movies that you can just go of. Like everyone's seen.
you've never seen the Titanic?
Nope, I've never seen Goodfellas either.
I have opinions about Goodfellas, and
I want to watch Goodfellas,
people don't like my opinions about Goodfellas.
but like
People think it's like one of the best movies ever made. I think it's too long.
I want to watch it.
I also think the like disrespect and the violence against women in that movie is too hard for me to watch.
Fair, but like that's also real. Like that happened.
I know, and that's why there's parts of The Sopranos that I don't particular like. I just like kind of don't watch, but it doesn't make it any less hard to witness on screen.
No, it doesn't make it less hard, but like I know the exact episode of
But that's
Sopranos. There's one episode specifically of The Sopranos where I'm like, ooh.
It's actually why
But
I
it's important.
didn't finish Goodfellas. I actually like got so uncomfortable that I was like, you know what? Fuck this movie. I don't need to watch the end of it.
Did it also happen to Lorraine Bracco there? Was she being abused in that movie too?
It wasn't her.
Because that's the one in The Sopranos where I'm like, oh,
It wasn't her. It was that other.
That's a rough episode.
Marissa Tomei, is it?
Is she? I don't know.
Is she-
Uh,
Who am I thinking of?
no
I
idea.
gotta look it up.
The episode of Sopranos that the rape episode is rough.
Oh yeah, no,
That's a tough episode to watch, but it's important television. You know what I mean?
yes, but like I just think too, like, and
There's-
I am a selective person. Like I don't watch sad movies.
But like it just it's real and it really happens, especially here, right? We're in Atlanta, and like
It's Lorraine Bracco, you're right.
it is Lorraine Bracco.
She's in that movie.
Mhm.
Is she really the?
Mhm.
Is she the wife?
Yeah,
She is.
yeah. Ah, good. I never even seen the movie. I know it's Lorraine Bracco.
But I just feel
She's
like
got
I
a sad
remember her.
story. Did you hear what she wants to find love?
It was her. You're right. And you know what?
She's gonna be in a new show.
He was such a piece of shit to her in that movie.
Did you see the trailer for Nundas
No.
with Vince Vaughn? Vince Vaughn
I
is
love
doing a
him too.
Netflix show about that restaurant, loosely based off that restaurant in Staten Island.
Worked there.
Really? How long was she there?
While.
Yeah, it was called Encanta's de Nonna or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name of the restaurant in the show.
Wait, it's a movie?
It's going to be on Netflix. It's called Nonnas. It's going to be a TV show. I believe it's a TV show. Lorraine Bracco's going to be in it. Lorraine Bracco, Susan Sarandon, I think.
Wait, I didn't even know about this. Wait.
The
That's
cast is
insane.
phenomenal.
Wait, so that's crazy because my nonna did work here.
That's cool.
And it was amazing. We ate there a few times while she was cooking.
I want to go. I wanted to go, and then they were closed because of quarantine. Because Nunnas were very susceptible to COVID. So they closed for a little bit, and now they've reopened, and they have Nunnas from around the world apparently there.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
I like
I
that.
think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. I'm so happy to hear this.
Nunnas. Oh, it's a
Susan
TV show.
Sarandon.
It's a movie.
Cute.
This looks
I'm so
really, really good.
excited.
Mom's excited for this. Oh, it's good for Mother's Day too. Perfect.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, Talia Shire's in it too.
I'm really excited.
Adriana from
Yeah.
This is gonna be really good.
We have to watch the trailer.
People were mad that Susan Sarandon there. She's Italian. Leave her alone.
Also, who cares?
Well, excuse me. Italians should play Italians.
Oh God.
Why? No, because they do this about everything else. Everything else. And then I have to watch Versace. And Versace, not one Italian's in that show.
Excuse me, Lady Gaga's Italian.
No, you're talking about House of Gucci.
Oh, what were you talking
I'm
about?
talking about the Versace
Oh,
murders.
Versace? Which one's that?
It was a limited TV show.
I
It's
love
like,
how I heard House of Gucci.
Ryan, oh my God, what's his name? Ryan Murphy made it. The guy, he does American Horror
Oh,
Story.
I didn't watch it.
American
Yeah.
Crime Story. They did Versace when he was murdered. Not a
American
single
Crime
Italian in it. Penelope Cruz and Ricky
yeah.
Martin. I have a problem with that. There's enough Italian actors.
Yeah, I mean, did I watch this? I think I watched this, and I thought
I
it was
watched
good.
it. It was good. Yeah, no, I didn't say it wasn't good.
Like, I don't really know that finding other actors would have made it
No,
better.
but we make a big deal about everything else. Everything else. If it's a voice actor that sounds good, they have to look like the character they play now.
That's pretty
That bothers me.
close. Look at that.
No, I don't care about looks. They look fine.
Well, I think that's what a lot of people do care about, though. I think I would prefer someone look like the person they're supposed to be than be the ethnicity
You're
or
right, but
religion,
this came out at the same
whatever.
time where they said that you had, like, they started making it a big deal. They started making it a bigger deal about voice actors. Like Jenny Slate was Misty in Big Mouth.
She's so funny.
Jenny Slate is fucking awesome.
Love
Jenny
her.
Slate
She's on Parks and Rec.
is she?
Yes,
But
and
see, I know her
she's
as her voice.
hysterical.
But I don't know what she looks like. I know her voice. Jenny Slate.
That's Jenny
Oh, I do
Slate.
know her. She's in many things.
Sing.
But I know her voice because she's a phenomenal voice actress.
She's Marcel Michelle.
She does a lot of things.
Yeah.
But they took her off of that role as Misty because Misty was a young black girl and she's not a black woman. Who cares, man? People are gonna not like this. Bart Simpson is voiced by a woman
Really?
who isn't yellow. Yes.
Bart Simpson.
Yeah, Nancy Cartwright.
I knew that.
You know who her niece is?
No.
Sabrina Carpenter.
You're lying.
Nancy Cartwright's niece is Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh my god. See, this is why I love pop culture. Nancy Cartwright? Why? Sabrina Carpenter is her niece via David Carpenter, who is her brother. In-law? It says siblings, maybe half brother.
But like, so this is see what I mean? Nancy Cartwright would not voice Bart Simpson in 2025.
Parents.
They also got rid of Apu from that show. Do you watch The Simpsons at all?
No. I never liked The Simpsons.
Apu was problematic for sure. Like there was some instances of like, ooh, over the top racism. But like everything was in the 90s. Like The Simpsons wasn't an outlier in that. And then like there was this whole campaign against Apu and taking him out of the show completely. But like how does that work? How does it work where you get rid of an entire culture instead of correcting it? Instead of saying, all right, so maybe we won't do an over-the-top Indian character, but our Indian character should have Indian values. You know what I mean? Instead of getting rid of it completely. But
don't you think the damage is done by that? Like the character's been...
Yeah, the character's been, and he's existed, and now he's not in the show at all.
Okay, but do you think there could be backlash now if you completely change the character and you add these new things to do what you're saying? Is there backlash there from then the people that care about the character in the show?
You're right, but they got rid of him completely. So instead of changing what about they've done background episodes on lesser characters, and we've seen background.
You mean just give him a background?
Give him background information about his Indian culture. If you want to make it Indian,
I don't know.
Okay, but like it's not problematic when like. There are real Indian people in this country, and a lot of them do own their own businesses. And instead of making...
I don't know anything about the characters. Is something...
He owns a convenience store.
Okay.
And that's racist.
Okay.
Because it's a stereotype. You're right. But then they also have an Italian character who is a mob boss named Fat Tony. And they also have an Italian chef who's over-the-top Italian. And that's okay. And those characters aren't going to be written off. But they won't do any background information on their cultures. No one really cares. And that's fine, because we take a joke, and we can be okay with it. But there was a point where like they just got rid of Apu, because he was problematic, and I can't say that enough.
Yeah.
The character was problematic.
But I don't know, so I'm just following your lead.
It was problematic because it was very stereotype based. He was, Hank Azaria voiced him and did a whole like Indian accent. Show is 30 years old. It was created at a different time.
So you're saying
they can change, evolve the character. Evolve the character instead of keeping him in the 90s or getting rid of him. That wasn't the option. We know more about Indian culture now than we did 25 years ago.
Okay, so you're just saying evolve the character.
Evolve the character instead of getting rid of it. I don't want to get rid of things. I want to evolve them. And if Misty from Big Mouth is not voiced by an African-American voice actress, that doesn't mean the character can't have an African-American background. The character can still be the character. It doesn't matter who voices them or anything is my point. It's like, who cares? It's about the writers. Your problem is the writers.
So it doesn't matter who plays, who's the voice actor
doesn't bother me.
A character, but it does matter, like in Versace, that Italians should play the Italian characters.
No, it only bothers me because everyone else makes it an issue. If no one else made an issue, I wouldn't give a fuck. but I feel like we get shafted
You think there's hypocrisy?
a little bit.
Okay.
We don't really fall in line anywhere, Italians.
Okay.
We don't
Well, that's
fall.
what I was trying to say before about like it would be nice to have some like realistic representation on TV of like what Italian.
Well,
And
that's what I mean.
there are things I have seen. Like there was that movie around Christmas time, Seven Fishes.
Awesome.
So
Great,
good.
and that's a real Italian culture movie, but we
So
don't have
good.
enough of that. We don't have enough things that show like
Normal.
normal Italian life. A loud house on
And
Sunday.
also, people really care about that. People
No.
want to know. Like I've had friends just in the past who are not from Italian households, who don't have a ton of Italian friends, or maybe have like one or two. Which like also like not every Italian family is the same at all. But like, and I've gotten questions like, do you guys do the whole big Sunday dinner? Do you do this? Do you do that? And like, I would get these questions, and I'm like, why are you so fascinated?
It's
Because
something.
because I think a lot of people don't really know what it's like.
Italians are like, we're shrouded in mystique. We're like this ultra old ancient population
It's like
of
kind of an
people,
exclusive little club,
but it's so like,
but also not.
no, the Italians are
Because
the worst.
we really scream it from the rooftop.
We
and-
tell
and
everybody,
share
but
it.
like, not only are we exclusive, we're very I don't know if isolated is the word.
I think
We
preserved.
Preserved, yeah, but like we care about other people's cultures, and we want to know like some of the best Chinese food I've ever had is like owned by Italian people.
That's interesting.
Have you ever been to La Yen in Bay Ridge? I don't even know if it's there anymore. Phenomenal place, Italian ownership.
Where?
It was in Bay Ridge, like 103rd Street, 101st.
Down that way?
Across the street from the park.
Oh no,
It's that you know that big space that's like closed and nothing's there.
I've never been. No, I never even knew that. But there was also another place, Zen, on Third Avenue, that was owned by Italian people. Or I don't know if they were necessary. I don't know. I think it was an Italian couple though that owned it. They also are not there anymore.
A Chinese restaurant in Long Island. I don't know if it is still, but I think it was owned by Italians, like Danny's Kitchen or something like that. And that was phenomenal too.
But the Italians are not making the food, Coop.
No.
Okay.
No, we're not making food, but we have a culinary gift where
Oh yeah.
we have a culinary gift, and we can cook anybody's food, and we like people's cultures, and my point is that we like taking that Chinese culture, putting a little bit of Italian edge to it, even though like they say they create a pasta.
That's true, because Zen, if you walked inside Zen, it looked like an Italian restaurant, but it was not. It was a Chinese food restaurant.
It's
Some of the best food I've ever had, and the people in there that were amazing. But I just think like we're very like the culture is very well preserved in America, like Italian Americans, and I know there's like a lot of discourse about like
it's different.
Italians are Italians and Italian Americans are Italian Americans, like
But
But I know there's a lot of discourse about that, and Italians in Italy, they don't really identify with us like the way we identify with them.
I think our generation of Italian Americans is way more in your face because we embrace the Jersey Shore. You know, there's a gap.
Do not lump me in with
No,
that.
because there's a gap between our parents, us, and like the Jersey Shore crew. The Jersey Shore group were like obnoxious and gross.
I don't attach. Okay. Let me just say something about the Jersey Shore. When it was on TV, I did not like it.
I love them now.
I can appreciate it now for the pop culture, like I can appreciate it for what it was in its time and the moment that it had and what it's done
But I think
for reality TV. But I will not attach myself to that. That to me does not represent my culture.
But you're right. But you have to watch the old show and the new show, and the new show is about family and about.
I don't think I'll watch it.
It's my mom watches it. My mom never watched Jersey Shore. She didn't like that. Fuck those people.
Yeah.
What they do to our people is ridiculous. And
I felt very ashamed when it was on TV.
Yeah, not me. I loved it.
I
I wanted to be them. I wanted to go to the shore. I couldn't wait to be 21 so I could do it. And then I turned 21 before all my friends, most of my friends at least at the time. And then by the time everyone was 21, there was a pandemic. By the time everyone was 21 in our group, there was a pandemic. We couldn't do anything.
Really?
Yeah.
That was that same time?
Yeah. We turned 21. We turned 21 the summer before it. 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Then everyone else after that summer turned 21. Mm-hmm. We couldn't really do anything. So I never got that full experience. I never went to DJs. I never went.
Me either, but I'm never going there.
Yeah, but I wanted to. And now I've aged out. Because then I got hurt. So then I got hurt at 25. I
Well,
haven't done anything since I'm 25. I've aged out.
I mean, I haven't done anything since I'm 25. I'm burnt out.
That's true, but not many people have been in a decades-long relationship.
So what does that have to do with anything?
That's where you meet people. It's so hard to meet people.
I still like, I mean, like going out.
You're right. Going out is fun, but I don't think I'd want to go to DJs if I had a girlfriend. There's no point to go.
I don't know about that.
Depends on.
I just think it's fun. Like, I mean, I don't think DJs is fun. I've never been there, so I can't say.
Now, listen, you could go with your girlfriend and have a good time.
That's what I mean.
But I don't. I want to go to DJs with the boys if my girlfriend's not there. What do I have to be there for? I don't. Not that I don't trust myself being there. I do trust myself. I'm not going to do anything. No, it's not as fun when you can't like play the crowd. A little bit.
I don't know about that, but I don't know. I just think like I don't even know what we were talking about. Oh,
Jersey Shore.
Yeah, not into it. I just like I don't attach myself to it. I think like I just think like there's not a lot of like really good role models and representations in media for Italian American culture and like what it really is.
What about Luigi Mangione? He's an Italian saint.
What is?
Go. You don't go on the internet.
Not really.
No, these people are in love with him.
I know they are, but I don't want to talk about him.
Well, people are crazy.
He's in
He's a murderer. Alleged murderer. But like this is what people think we are, is my point. This is what people think that we're hitmen. That this is what we do, that they sent him out to go make the kill.
We're not like that.
No, we're not like that, but it's not good when like I'm the type of person that listens to the news and like when that story happened, I didn't care for it. And then I was
pretty shocked.
And then they said his name, and I was like, oh.
I do remember. Okay, I remember like when the news broke. I remember for whatever reason I was very like on the internet and like reading the news that day, and it like literally happened that morning. It was like 8 a.m. and it happened like 6 a.m.
Oh, I was awake.
Yeah, me too.
I was awake listening and like, ooh, a CEO got shot in Midtown Manhattan.
I was mortified. I was so upset by it. And then
it was one of those feelings of like, it was a month after the election, and I was like, oh my God, it's anarchy. I
felt more like, I'm like, really? Like, in broad daylight on the street,
and then
in
you
the
find
middle
out,
of Midtown?
But then you find out what kind of CEO he was and what he did, and you're like, oh my God, what's the story? There was a story about a father who might have done it.
I mean, like,
and there was so much behind it, and I didn't care for it. I did not care for
it. But I agree. When I did find out who the suspect's name was, I was just kind of like, who the hell is this guy? And like I could literally I feel like I could know somebody with this last name.
We grew up with people named Luigi Mangione.
I didn't.
I know 3 of them.
I didn't, but like
okay, that was hyperbolic.
Okay, got it. I was just thinking like in my head, like, do I? While I was stalling. But I don't, but I could.
Very easily.
But whatever.
The point is, but then when names like that come out in the news, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Everywhere. Every time it's a guinea, we know about it.
Don't say that.
I can say it.
Okay, I won't.
That's fine. I like that word. I don't care. It's who I am.
I just never did like
it. I'm an over-the-top kind of Italian in that way. Like
very different.
Yeah. I love the whole like... Well, I like bright patterns and...
You just said, I embraced Jersey Shore. I wanted to be like them. And I said I was ashamed.
Different.
So that's the difference.
Yeah. I wanted to be them. I don't know. It's something about like...
I was mortified by them. I was like, guys, this is not me. I don't identify with this. Like, don't look at me.
But the point that I was making is our parents were not that. They were the generation that was raised almost by our parents. Like the age right above our parents. You know what I mean? Like 5 to 7 years older than our parents would be them. And they let their kids loose. Because they came to this country... Well, they might have come to this country from a war-torn country themselves.
Do you think their parents were born here, or they?
Depends. It depends. Some of their parents on the Jersey Shore, I think, were born there, because of just how old they are. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if their parents are in their 60s or 70s. What are the odds that they were out of Italy by 1950? Not high.
Fair.
So.
Well, some people really did come here a very long time ago.
You're right. Some people came right after the war. Some people came during the war. Not everybody, not a lot of people. My grandparents.
What year are we talking?
The
mid-40s?
30s?
Okay. 40s?
But like my grandparents didn't get here till the 60s.
Yeah. And like your great grandparents didn't come
They
here.
weren't here, no.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah, my dad came here.
my grandparents lived in Palermo their whole lives, 2 years apart. They met on 18th Avenue.
It's so funny.
They met on 18th Avenue.
Amazing.
My grandfather's first hour in America.
That's great. I love that so much.
Uh-huh.
His first hour.
Yeah, he was picked up by my uncle or my great uncle, who ended up taking him home to dinner.
Amazing.
Mhm. It's funny how things work.
Same house?
Yeah. I don't know. I think so. I
Okay.
think it's been in my family. It was in my family multiple times.
That's
I
amazing.
think someone had it before we had it, but it was in the family.
My grandparents actually, they went to Canada first. And I've a lot of family in Canada, and then they moved with my dad. Like my dad was born in Italy, and then they moved.
My
down here.
grandparents, my grandfather rather was in Switzerland first, and then came here.
Mhm.
So I went to Italy, Switzerland,
A lot
here.
of that's the case for a lot of people. Yeah, they went to.
A lot of there was only
I don't know when
back
my
then.
nunno was out of the army. He did serve. I just don't know when he
Back
left.
then, it was like only X amount of Italians got into the country a year because we were still like fascists who they were going to bring that here.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
So,
I
like-
actually don't know too much about the history of like my family's like immigration here.
I
I just
I
know
vaguely
I just
know
know
some
that they were
details.
in Canada first. Then they moved here when my dad was like 2.
Mhm.
Like so like
Was
English.
he born in Canada?
He was born in Italy,
Oh wow, which part?
Calabria.
Nice.
And I don't think he learned English until he was like 3
Okay.
because they moved to Canada first,
He learned French.
and then they moved here.
Is he trilingual?
He can't. I don't think he can speak or understand French, but Italian can speak and understand, but doesn't and speaks English.
Our generation of Italian Americans don't know the language.
I don't know Italian, and I wish I was taught.
I want to learn. I want to learn so bad, and I just don't.
So do I.
It's one of those
It's
things. Like
hard.
the hardest thing for me about it is like my grandmother was like my best friend. I loved my nonna. She lived with me my whole life. I never had a conversation with her.
Yeah.
Like I understood what she was saying to me. She understood what I was saying to her. But we never spoke to each other in the same language.
Yeah.
That's always going to be one of those things that like will bother me.
My nunno would sit with me, and he would like point to things, or like we would just be like sitting there, and he's like, "Do you know the word for this in Italian?" And I'm like, "No, I don't, because you never taught me, and no one taught me." And he's like, "It's this," and I would say it, and he would correct my pronunciation, and we would just like go through. I would never have any use for that word again. But I grew up like he would teach me words when I was little. So like I used to love grapes, and I'd be like uva uva and I would just like run around saying like different words. But he was so like. Once we got older, he tried teaching us words, and then like also would try to teach us. He only knew the Calabrese dialect too, so like that's what I was taught.
My grandmother knew Sicilian, and part of it was like I didn't know how to say much to her. I knew some words and some phrases, but I knew how to tell her that my brother ate asshole. And I would just say,
"Why would you tell your grandmother this?"
because I knew all the curse words. Listen, I'm not getting as colorful as I could get, but I told her that he ate butthole repeatedly. Like,
What would she do?
oh, she gets so no say that.
Yeah,
Yeah, she get that.
I was gonna say
And
she
then-
would either laugh or get really mad.
Then she would start giggling because
Yeah.
she knew it was funny. And then once she got bored of that, like that game was over, I would go get flour from the cupboard and put it under my nose. Be like, no, you want some?
Okay, ridiculous, completely insane.
My grandmother thought I was like a coke addict at 14.
That's great.
That's
really it's every grandmother's fucking dream.
Oh, listen.
Yeah.
I don't take this lightly, and I'm gonna look in the camera when I say this. Okay. I was my nonna's favorite. Not even close. Like undoubtedly.
We all know when we are the favorite.
It's like I won't make my cousins feel bad about it ever, but they should know.
Yeah, don't feel bad.
Like,
don't
hey,
feel bad. Just know.
top number 2 is still out there. It could be anybody. You're never gonna beat me. I'm the number 1. However, there's a close second. my cousin has my grandfather's name.
Okay.
Yeah, and when you're like a Sicilian woman who's now lived like, I don't know, 20 years of her life as like her identifying characteristic is widow. When you're an Italian and your husband dies, that's what you are now.
Yeah.
You become a widow. You wear black every day the rest of your life. And that was my grandmother was a widow. She had another Giuseppe. She had someone with the name, and that's always been special to her. That was always special to her. So
Yeah,
it was,
I get that.
But
Fair
he'll
enough.
never be me.
Fair enough.
There's only one me.
There
I
is.
used to sleep in the same bed as her when she would get sick if she wasn't feeling good. I was like third grade, but opposite. Well, none of that because she needed me. That was my rock.
Yeah. So
And
special.
it was hard when she got sick, but I was with her when she like literally took her final breath. I held her, and you know what?
Yeah.
That's good. It's good enough for me.
Yeah, pretty much with my nunno too. That was really sad.
I, however, don't think it's something I could ever do again.
No.
I could never ever be in the room again.
No.
I don't want to. Because like I knew she would get older and I knew that it would happen.
Yeah.
And now it's almost like everyone in my life is live forever. What do you mean? Everyone else in my life
I
is like
really can't even go here because death is so existential for me, and I have a really hard time with it. Personally,
I've done a better job with it.
I have a hard time.
It happens. It's part of life, and I get that. And then
I get it in theory.
getting hurt made it harder to understand death. Because what do you mean I could just die?
Well,
What do you mean that now, like,
Yeah.
oh my God, there's no time left. Now to me, every day is the last day I'm going to live. And it's terrifying because, like, I don't feel good every day. There are days where I am miserable, and it's probably better off if I were dead. That's how I feel. Truly. Do I want to kill myself? No. Do I want to be alive? Not every day.
Oh.
It's just a pain thing. It's just like, I don't even know where I was going with this. I don't even know how we started here.
I don't know either. That's how all our
Yeah, it's
conversations
kind of maybe tricky a little bit. Where were we going?
I don't remember.
I don't know. The whole point is, I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, that's going to bother me
Death.
forever.
We were talking about death being
Oh,
existential.
death being existential, and I got hurt. So, like, that part of it, like, not wanting to live every day really got to me. So I read Meditations
Okay.
by Marcus Aurelius. There was a happy ending. That's what I was getting to.
Okay.
That's what I was getting to. It's not that I want to not be alive. It's just, like, life is hard. And if I read that book, and I talked about it a little bit last week on my interview with David Mirsky. You can watch it on YouTube. And
If you read it.
yeah, I read it. You could read it in 12 days. I actually brought it down here with me to try to read it again while I'm here.
Okay.
And it just made me, as an Italian, you're like, oh my God, this person existed in the year 180, where my grandparents would not walk in that same place for another 1900 years.
Okay.
To me, that's crazy. To me, that's crazy that like our people have existed that long, and like there's a person, an emperor, who wrote this journal about how to live your life, about how to embrace the challenges of life and knowing what's to come. Hey, it's all part of the plan. Everything that is happening to you has already been pre-written and already predetermined. And these people didn't really believe in religion.
I have a hard time with that.
Religion?
With thinking that things are predetermined.
I used to. I used to think that there was no game plan and there was no plan for me. That it was up to me and only me.
I just don't know if your whole life is really written out for you.
I believe in signs.
I believe it's something that you kind of create along the way, and it's like if you have an idea or a vision in your head of what your life is supposed to be or should be or could be or whatever it is that you dream it to be, then you can absolutely live your life that way. I just don't know if you're born necessarily with your whole life.
Yeah, it's predetermined.
Predetermined. I don't know.
To me.
But I do believe things happen for a reason at the same time.
That was like my grandmother's saying was everything happens for a reason. And
I used to think that's bullshit, but I totally believe it now.
And it's one of those things where now I'm like, okay, maybe that's why I got hurt.
I think like I used to think all of that was bullshit. Like I really was such a hater. And then I like went through law school and like it's nothing compared to being hurt or whatever or like any of those struggles, but like I had moments where I was like, what the fuck? And then, things would happen and then better things would happen and I'm like, okay, so it had to happen that way.
I think I ignored my intuition too many times, and that especially when it came to work, and I had multiple opportunities to leave my job, to do something else, go to
you
school.
got taught the hard lesson?
And I got taught the hard lesson that, hey, get the fuck out of here. Do not spend the rest of your life working at Madison Square Garden. It's not for you, and it's not what's meant for you. And it's still hard for me because I want to go back so bad. But I'm not. I can't. I'm physically cannot go back. And
we've had this conversation where you were like, I want my life back. And I said, that's not your life anymore.
And now I'm realizing that. And it's hard.
It's not. You can never have that life back. It'll never be yours again.
Nope.
But that's because a better life is on its way.
I feel that. And there's just something, I can see my future now. And a month and a half ago, I could not. A month and a half ago, it was just recovery. And it was just getting better. And it was just about how...
You're just getting through the day.
Can I be 27?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
That's bleak. That's bleak.
But sometimes that's life. Like,
yeah, but like my only dream is to become 28 is crazy.
Sometimes you have to just, like, there are things that you just have to see through. You have to see it through.
And something about the last month has changed my life, and I know exactly what it is. See what happens. But like I started going to church, and out of everything, man, I didn't want to go to church after I got hurt. Nothing got me back to church. And whatever, this situation has definitely gotten me back to church. And anything gonna come of it? Who knows? But like I feel good
but at
being
least you
there.
found church again.
And it's like I took a gap pope. I was a devout Catholic. I was an altar boy.
May the Pope rest in peace.
All the way through Benny like stepping down. Once Benny was like, I'm out.
I don't know the lore.
Oh, okay. So we used to have a good pope.
Benedict. Is Benedict?
Oh, Benedict.
Pope Benedict?
Yeah. Okay. So we used to have a good pope named Pope John Paul II. And he got shot and that man would not die. I should know
this. I went to Catholic school for my entire life.
JP2 was like iconic. That's as pope as it
When
gets.
did his papacy end?
When he died.
When was that?
2008? 2006 maybe?
Still a child.
Yeah. Yeah, we were children. I remember when he died. I remember being on the paper. I remember being in the news every day. And that was like...
It was a big deal.
Oh, because he was like Pope forever.
He was beloved.
He was beloved. He was a Polish kid who grew up like in World War II, like World War torn Poland.
Don't they have other names and then they take on this Pope?
Yes, his name was Carol.
That makes sense.
So he took on Pope John Paul. And I think JP1 might have been right before him.
I don't know.
We might have gone JP back to back.
Don't know. I'll believe you.
But when JP2 died, Pope Benedict took over, and then when we were in high school, he decided he was done being Pope, which is not one of those jobs. I'm a traditionalist. I'm a traditionalist in a lot of things that I believe, and now the last Pope Francis, rest in peace, he got sick about a month and a half ago, the Pope. Yes, and everyone thought he was dying. Everyone thought that it was it and that he was going to die. And then he didn't. Yeah. And then there were rumors going around that this was definitely going to be his last Easter and that he was going to retire. And I got very upset. Because I don't know, I'm a Catholic and we believe certain things, we're guilted into them from a very young age to believe certain things no matter what.
Like the Pope shouldn't retire.
The Pope should not retire. The Pope should die with their position. I'm sorry. I don't care that it's the year 2025 and things change. Because you serve that job until you die. You are given, you take the oath at the moment that you're elected Pope to serve until your last dying breath. That is your commitment to God. And if you cannot make that commitment to God, then you should not be the highest ranking Catholic.
Why did Benedict step down?
I have no idea. I still don't know. He was just getting older.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't even know he died. He died.
Oh.
I had no idea. I found out Benny died because I watched Conclave.
I don't even remember him stepping down. I guess I really wasn't paying attention in school.
Yeah, he stepped down while we were in high school. So I was in Catholic school. That was a whole thing. And I love a good conclave. Sign me up. You know about the conclave. Did you see the movie?
I did not.
Ralph Fiennes should have won. You should watch it.
I did see clips of it.
Awesome movie. A little boring. Great movie.
That's why I haven't seen it.
Apparently a lot of the candidates in the movie have like a real life counterpart that people are finding out now.
That's cool.
Which I have now that there's like There's some popes with cool names, like real Guinea popes. Real Italian, you don't like that word.
No.
Real Italian popes. Like one of his last name, Pietro Pizza Bello or something like that. Yeah, that's a pope.
Is that word a slur?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It feels like one.
It feels like one.
I
feel
think
like
it
I
is.
feel like it's around a lot. I feel like people say, "Why people call me WAP?" I hear WAP all the time without papers.
You're fucking lying.
Oh no! Like when the stupid song came out, Cardi B.
Oh, but
Ye-
that's WAP.
You're right, but then for some reason it became anti-Italian, and everyone started using WAP.
Who's calling?
Twitter.
Get off of that app.
I use social media in the worst way. Like I watch
Like,
social.
I don't know why you act surprised that like the worst people on the internet are talking to you when you
No, but
are
I'm
on
not
the
talking
worst
to me
parts of the
directly.
internet.
It's like
Oh, so they're not calling you
no, they're
that.
not calling me that. Just like
Oh,
in
that's
general.
how it sound.
Yeah, just in general, like Italians are just called like
So I'm like, who is really using that
WAP
word
in
here?
2023 is a crazy thing to call an
That's what I
Italian.
was just gonna say.
Like that's what we're throwing
Like,
around.
really using that word?
What about I don't know what Dago means, but that's a bad one. And who called us that? Oh, Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Good
you
old
were saying that.
Teddy R.
Okay, enough. I just was wondering if that word was a slur. That's all I wanted to know because it feels like one.
Yeah, there's a couple.
When you say it, I'm
Guinea,
like, I
Ginza,
don't like
that's
that.
not good. See, but I don't mind it. I could say why.
That is-
Everyone else can say the words that identify with their.
That's your prerogative. I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
You should be offended by it.
I'm offended. It feels like a slur and I don't like it. But it's okay. You could say it.
No,
I'm not gonna tell you not to say
to
it.
me, there's a difference between an Italian and like a Guinea. An Italian is like, I don't know, people
Oh,
in
so there's a
Italy.
difference. Okay.
A Guinea lives here.
I don't think I'm one of those.
No, yeah, I'm an Italian. I'm okay.
I feel like you are talking about a specific.
I'm talking about stereotypes. I'm an Italian American stereotype. I have the hair. I wear the chains. I have rings on, and I
You like the Jersey Shore.
like the Jersey Shore. But there's just something about like the over the top Italian culture that I love.
I like the more subdued culture.
No, I want bright colors. I want patterns that don't make sense. Yes.
No.
We are artists. We're chaotic. That's what we come from.
Well-
we used to build things.
I agree. I mean, like, yes, the whole like we used to build things. We've like built New York City.
We all built the country. There's a slur that it's a slur that I won't say.
Please don't.
Thanks. But the letters are all mean something, and one of the letters means Italian.
I don't know what we're referring
Yeah,
to.
we'll do that off camera.
I don't want
But
to
yeah,
know.
the word.
I really don't want to be a part of it.
The word itself, which I'm not gonna say, was an anagram for the low income workers and low wage workers.
I might have learned about this.
And it's like one of those crazy things, like, oh, we were included in that group of people back then.
Yeah.
And now we're like ostracized and we're just part of the American culture now. So that's where like I think Guinea comes from. That's
Yeah.
where we didn't fit with the immigrants anymore at some point. At some point, we didn't identify with the immigrants. So Italian American culture, it wasn't immigrant culture anymore. Italian American culture became even more specific because we started getting booted from the community of immigrants that existed that built this country. Very much built this country.
I do think the like whatever that group was, I think also just like naturally like or maybe not naturally, maybe it was a little bit forceful, but assimilated into American culture.
Yeah, but I also don't think that we really disagree with those groups of people. I think that people tell us that we don't get along.
I'm not even talking about disagreements. I'm saying just like everybody from that point in time, that was the thing to do. It was to become American.
You're right.
That's what everyone wanted.
It's not wrong in a way.
So that's what happened.
You should embrace the culture of the place you're.
That's how the movement from immigrant culture to American culture happened because they
You're right.
wanted to be American.
You're right, but then I don't know. At some point, then we were like trying to felt bad, like to feel bad for being over the top in Italian. Do you want us to be Italian or do you not?
I think people just like to make things
noise.
a way that like when it's convenient for
Mhm.
them. So like sometimes we appreciate Italians for who they are and what they do, and sometimes we make fun of them.
Oh, no, especially living in America, it's like one of those things where you could just have like someone who's like families from the UK and also Russia has opinions on Italian geopolitics and the understanding of Italian culture. Shut the fuck up.
God, we're gonna do this again.
No, we're not gonna do this.
Uh,
We're not gonna do this. But like, man, stop telling me how I feel.
I personally think everyone should stop telling everyone how to feel.
100%.
Stop telling people what to do. Stop telling people how to feel. Like enough already. Leave people alone. Leave people alone. Like I honestly, like not to go so far off topic, but I don't know how much you know about Mel Robbins, and
I
if
have
you
no idea who that person is.
you don't know who Mel Robbins
Not
is,
even a
have
little
you
bit.
heard of the let them theory? You haven't. I
Fill
know
me in.
something that you don't know.
Perfect. Indulge.
Amazing. So, well, there's a lot of lore here, but I'll just let you know. So, Mel Robbins is this podcaster, kind of motivational speaker, kind of. I don't really know what her background is. I know that she was a lawyer at some point, stopped being a lawyer. Don't know what really happened in between, but she has this podcast. It's called the Mel Robbins Podcast. But in most recent history, she came out with this book called The Let Them Theory. And apparently I have not read it, but it's this whole like science-backed theory and like all this stuff that like when you let people be who they are, you feel less stressed.
Mm-hmm.
And
But that's the Italian way. The Italian way is that.
I have lived my life this way. And I feel like I really like, and I'm not just saying that because like it's trendy to say let them and do. I really genuinely for years when people do things and when people say things, like someone will come up to me and they're like, "Can you believe so and so did this or did that?" And I'm like, "Who cares?
That's
Just
the most
let them be.
Italian way to be.
Let them
We
be who
have
they are."
opinions on everything. I have an opinion about everything.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck how you live your life. Do
I
whatever
don't
the fuck
care.
you want. Do I need to?
I'm not judging either.
No, neither am I. Do I have an opinion? Yeah. Am I
Do
going to
you?
vocalize it? Sure. Do I really give a fuck? Not
No.
in the slightest. I do not care.
We
At
have
the end
to
of the day,
we have to let people live. Let people be who they are. Like
if the city is
obviously if
burning
you
down, but I have
suck.
fire extinguishers in my home, I'm fine.
I think like obviously there are people who really are shitty people. They suck. There are, real
Yeah.
true criminals and people who are not good people.
There's bad people everywhere, though. That's every
Right.
sect of
And I'm not
society.
saying let's let, bad people do bad things, but I also like in a more like just like everyday sense of whatever it is that you deal with people, whether it's politics, differing opinions. I know politics is a really hot topic, but like it's a very like
We've avoided it.
yes,
I've done a good job today of avoiding politics.
thank you, and I would like to keep it that way. But I'm bringing it up for the sense that like tolerance is like a thing that I think a lot of people preach but don't practice, and like the let them theory is it's a very like tolerant
But
practice, I think, where like, but you have to truly like, I truly believe when someone tells me something like, can you believe that Joe is doing this with his life?
mm-hmm.
You know what? I can't believe it, but good for him. Let him do what the fuck he wants with his own life.
Is when Obama ran for president.
Is he
No,
serious?
it's not going to get bad. It's not going to get bad because I don't hate
like
Barack Obama.
It's like Jim Halpert moment. I'm like, please.
I liked Obama.
Okay.
When he ran for president, you had the worst people in the fucking country that hated him for nothing other than what he looked like, and that caused division.
I never understood the Obama hate.
You never understood it? You know where you live?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying.
But you're right. But he came from out of nowhere, and he seemed like this kind of person that just like they created in a lab. He was this perfect cookie cutter politician who only existed in our public life for 2 years. He was a junior senator. No, like a junior senator from Chicago. Why do I know who you are?
Mm.
He just seemed too perfect, and he seemed like this person that they just picked out of nowhere to become who he ended up being. And
And so
that's why
you said, Obama, I'm gonna let you be who you
I
are.
don't. No. But that's when
Where
the
are you going?
divide in the country started because you had the worst sect of people, the 1% screaming and yelling about who he was and what he looked like, and then we were like, oh, people believe that, and we ran with it like 50% of the country believed it. And since then, we've been running on this idea that, oh, it's 50% and 50%. So we all must be fighting and we all must be arguing. And it was the 2008 election cycle that started it. Because
You said we're not gonna do politics.
no, you're right, but this isn't really politics.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that the Republicans created division. 100%, because 1% of the Republican population is very, very racist and did not like him just based on that.
Is it 1%?
No, it's not 1%, but I'm just saying it's a sect of it. It's not the whole population. It's not us. It's not people our age. You know what I mean? Our generation.
Well, not at that time about Obama because we were
Yeah.
kids, but I don't know that necessarily. And now I would say it's not people our age. I think there's a lot of like vile people our age.
You're right, but again,
I also blame the internet.
I really don't think that they're more than 5% of the population.
I don't really know.
I
would need data for sure.
No, I think that the people that have the worst opinions and are losers, and they have all of the free time. So you think that they exist more than they do.
Maybe.
And that's everything. If someone is a racist and they really believe it in their bones, that's what they eat, sleep, and drink. So if you put 1% of the United States population, 300 million, is 3 million racist people. That are, and it's more. It's more than 1%.
It's more than that. Way
But it's not
more.
50.
I don't know what it is.
It's not 50.
I don't know what it is, and I don't know what the data is, and
It's not
I
even
don't
close to
know
50.
what this has to do with what I was saying about Mel Robbins.
I don't even know how we got to politics.
Because I fucking said,
That was on you.
No.
That was on you.
No, it wasn't, and you can watch this back. Rewind the fucking tape.
Hey, we didn't say anything bad.
Rewind.
We didn't say anything bad.
No, I.
It's
Rewind
not
the
even
tape.
really political. It's not even real politics.
Just stop talking. I said the let them theory was, you just let people be who they are, believe what they believe, and do what they do, whatever. Because the moment you start caring about what other people think about themselves and how they live their lives and what they do, it causes you so much stress. And I was using politics as an example of something that causes anxiety between people.
Where I was trying to get is identity politics.
You said, I'm not going to get into politics, and you literally started going in on fucking
I guess where I'm
Obama
trying to get
and
is identity
racism.
politics. Let people don't give them what you do.
But I wasn't even trying to go down that road. I was just saying, like, and I'm talking about it could be the most harmless situation where
I wish,
like, somebody is like, your friend just like keeps going back to the same toxic ex.
how great would it be if, like,
Let 'em.
instead of voting for people, we should vote for ideas? Like, what if they just had like every year you'll see like the NFL draft is this week. So you're gonna see like Tom Brady's stats at some point, and it'll be like 7th round pick, number 299, and it'll be like, who's this guy? And it'll be like all his stats. That's what they should give us when we go vote. It should not say Republican. It should not say Democrat. It should just be like, the guy on this side is running on these 6 issues, and the guy on this side is running on this 6 issues. Who do you like?
I don't have a comment on that.
We shouldn't have any parties.
I don't even want to have this conversation.
See, I'm like, the political journey in this country has changed so much that, like, I'm not left, I'm not right. Hate it all. It's all broken.
I am like, send me to the fucking moon.
Well, the problem is that when we turned 18, we were put into.
You're doing it to me, and I'm not gonna let you. And you told me that you wouldn't do this, and I won't do it with you.
I won't do it. But when we were 18, we were put into a climate that has not cooled down. It's gotten hotter.
Fine.
And the news cycle is
This is why I don't watch the news.
disastrous.
I feel very anxious watching the news for a lot of reasons.
They wouldn't do this to a president.
I'm not gonna have this conversation.
It's not really. I'm not going to say anything other than they wouldn't do it to a president. They didn't do it to Joe Biden. No matter how sick and old he got, they respected him. They did not tabloid news him. However, we have a media personality now being president, and he is susceptible to all of the people that have. When you don't think that the New York Times, when they had to start writing about him and they didn't take him seriously, said, you were on the Apprentice beat. We'll just keep writing about him. And that's what caused these problems. You probably had a lot of entertainment writers writing about the entertainer. And now the news has become entertainment.
What we're talking about right now.
We're talking about when we were 18, the news cycle changing and becoming tabloid news. That's what it is now.
I think the world has changed a lot. I think
in 8 years.
I don't even know if I would get, like, I'm not even speaking like granularly. I'm talking about on like a very, very mass scale. Like the way that social media and the internet and the way that we spread information and discuss things and the way that people talk to each other, and it just
disrespectful.
All of it is not good. And it's very toxic and it's very unfortunate. And that's all I have to say on the matter. I blame
social media.
Internet. I blame social media. I blame the fact that people feel far too comfortable saying what they feel. And also, I do think people too tend to say things on the internet they don't really mean and they don't believe, but they feel very safe behind their screen. And I don't.
That's the problem. That's kind of what I was going to say, is that you have.
It's just it's a much bigger problem than just politics. It's a bullying problem. It's a huge like mental health issue. Like there's just so many things about it, and like this is why I've been so like anti TikTok and anti like social media for a very long time. Like I have social media, but I don't really use it that much. I think it does not make me feel good, and I see things that make me feel bad.
People who have these horrible opinions to then continue to have these horrible opinions and attack people on them.
So I was listening to a podcast, and I think it was Call Her Daddy, and it was I don't often listen to that podcast, but I think it was the Emma Chamberlain episode, and I like Emma Chamberlain, and I wanted to listen to her. There was 2 parts, and I think it was this episode, or maybe it was the Chapel Roan episode, but I don't know. Either way, those are the people I wanted to hear. So I listened to those episodes, and Alex Cooper said something interesting, and it was like, they're talking about social media and the fact that like the top comments and the most liked comments and the like comments that go the most like viral under someone's post are the meanest ones. And it's because people feel so emboldened to say these really mean things because that's what makes them popular for like half a fucking second.
Well, like look at
because people are chasing the fame. They're chasing the high of being popular and known, because that's a whole other issue about social media that I really just don't understand.
There's this universe called the Burnerverse of just like these SEC schools and kids that go to these SEC schools that tweet about football and sports and other things from like a fake account. And about a month ago, 2 months ago, they ran with this crazy fake story. Again, these are like college-aged kids who are just trying to get a fucking laugh on the internet about some girl cheating on her boyfriend.
With the dad.
I
saw that.
And ESPN is being sued now.
And they should
be. They should be, absolutely, because
don't fucking spread misinformation like that.
You're not fucking Barstool.
And what?
Barstool reports on the internet. That's what Barstool does.
This is not news. This is not part of football. This is not part of the sport that you're reporting
ESPN
on.
has not been a sports company for probably 10 years now.
Well, look,
they don't care about sports in general.
And I saw the interview that the girl did with, I don't know if it was like 60 Minutes or some.
She did there was a
video interview.
Video. I read the article in the Athletic.
A video interview, and I just saw a clip of it. And she was like, people don't realize like this could ruin my life, and it's not even true. Which is like,
and then like there was another rumor.
Why are we talking about some random girl from the middle of nowhere? Like, why are like
Ole Miss or something like that?
I don't know, but like, why are we talking about some girl who's just trying to live her fucking life?
Who's like 19 years old and just wants to be a kid? Like, leave her alone. Like this is worse. This is far worse than like nudes getting around in high school. Though that sucks. But like this is crazy because it's on a national scale.
So that's the point. Like, and that's the thing about the internet and social media that I don't love, and that scares me. And it scares me to be on the internet myself. This, like, I was nervous to do this. I'm nervous every time that I'm going to do my own podcast. I'm nervous about posting on the internet in general because, and this was something that Emma Chamberlain was talking about on her episode of the podcast with Alex Cooper, where she was like, something that her like biggest fear is like being caught, or like people like trying to catch her and like spin it into this like negative story where it's really not a representation of who she is. And like that's why I get nervous just like appearing on the internet, because like this lives forever, and people have the tendency to like take things out of context and spin things and run with them and twist your words and make things such a big deal when like, who the fuck am I? Ain't no one. Why do you care? Why are we getting so upset about it?
Eventually, when your podcast is big enough, people will hate you. More people will hate you than people like you, because the people that like you do not vocalize that they like you.
With that. Like, I'm okay. I don't need to be everyone's friend. I don't need to be liked by anyone. I don't really have like self-esteem or confidence issues like that. Like, I'm not worried about that. I just like on a like a very like fundamental like value level have a hard time
even wanting to give part of myself to people like that. Like, you don't deserve that.
So how does that work with now doing a podcast?
Well, my podcast is like, I don't know that I'll ever, if I end up in a situation where, you know, it's popular and people do hate me for it, like, that's bizarre, because my podcast is about talking about law school and law students and navigating that experience and that journey. And like, I speak very like openly and honestly, and I'm very vulnerable about my experience in law school. And as a new attorney as well, just like things that I struggle with, in the hopes that it will help somebody. And like, the whole point of it is to like talk directly to myself years ago and the people who are going through it now, and just let them know, like, you're not alone. Like, you feel like shit right now and you're struggling and you're not sure if it's going to get better or if you're going to get to where you want to be, but like, you totally are. And I know that because I was you. And that's the whole point of the podcast. And so if someone wants to hate me for that, go for it. I can't imagine hating someone for doing something like that.
They will.
Good.
They will. They'll find something to hate. People do.
Fine. I mean, yeah, I have opinions. I have opinions about law school. People may not agree. That's fine. I don't need everyone to share my opinions. That's fine. Make your own podcast.
It's not that easy. It's not that easy.
It's not. Editing is a bitch.
Editing. I don't edit. I like raw.
You know what? I know you're weird for that, but I mean, good for you, actually.
Oh, it makes it so much easier.
It's brave. I do all my own editing, but I kind of like it. It's very time consuming, but I kind of like doing it.
I am much more of a conversationalist, and that's like.
Well, I'm also solo.
For this, well, for now, eventually you'll invite people, right?
I would like to.
For me, I am a conversationalist. I like to ask questions. I like to get into your brain, and I've always been like that. I've always wanted to know how people tick. No matter who they are, they could be like dregs of society. How'd you become that way?
Tell me your story. Yeah.
100%. Like Luigi. Okay, I don't need to get into it more because I talked about it a little bit last week, but like there's a point where his story and my story really intersect. So I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
But what were we talking about? Getting into his brain and knowing what he thought. So I got to a point where I knew almost everything that he was thinking to a certain point. Because, like, where'd you get these thoughts? Allegedly.
Yeah.
Like, so I had to make that change. And I talked about it last week a little bit more. And I'm going to go into more detail about myself and things like that.
You should do a solo episode.
I don't want to. I can't monologue.
No?
Mm-mm.
I can't solos.
I can't even sit there. Last week, it took me about 16 takes to get that minute in before the podcast, teeing it up.
Yeah, So I found that I don't mind doing the solo episodes because they're quick. I do very short episodes.
I have to prepare, and I'm not good at preparing.
I go like straight. I kind of like I have a general like idea, kind of what I want to say, and then I just go completely off the dome and just say what I want to say. But sometimes I have to do a few takes because I'm like, oh, I don't like the way I said that, or I should go into more detail about this, and I'll do the take all in one shot and then I edit. So
Okay.
like sometimes I have like 3 different clips and I'm splicing them all together and it takes fucking forever.
See,
but I love it. Like I like that. I want it to be a very like comprehensive.
once I start having to edit and rewatching, this 2 hours will be 15 minutes. I will hate things I say. This is the same reason why I can't text. I am a much better person when I'm on the phone with you, when I'm speaking to you, or I can write you a letter. If I'm in love with you, I will write you letters. But I cannot send you a text telling you what I feel about you. I can tell you I love you. I can tell you you're beautiful. But like every text sounds generic to me. And I can do a much better job looking at you and telling you exactly how I feel.
So how would your 2 hours, like if you did a solo, how would 2 hours turn into 15 minutes?
I wouldn't even get
You're
to.
just too self-critical.
I couldn't. Yeah, I'm too self-critical, and like I don't know. I do enough talking in my own head all day. I don't need to talk to myself at a camera.
Fair. That's also why I don't do video right now.
And like I'm isolated. I'm very isolated, and a lot of my thoughts right now are only in here. And like
Well,
I carry this.
I think
My little book.
I don't know, but I think too like everything disappears in this couch.
Yep. I carry this like little blue book around now, just because I can't remember things.
Yeah.
And it's really, really helpful. And like, man,
I think,
I'm too young to have a book to carry around to remember things.
I mean, like, look, I think if you did a solo episode, you wouldn't just like talk for no reason. You have a message, right?
Yeah.
And I think like that would keep you on track. And it doesn't also have to be 2 hours. That solo episode
No.
can be the shortest one you do.
But I think if I do solo and more introspective monologuing things, I'd rather write a blog. I'd rather tell you,
Okay.
like, hey, the last episode, I interviewed so-and-so, and hey, this is how it went, this is how I feel. Or like the last episode, like, hey, a million things went wrong. The dog was barking.
Do it.
My producer wasn't there. This week, my producer's also not here, but that's because we're doing it in person.
Yeah.
I didn't need him.
My dog's annoying.
Your dog's annoying. So, like, a million. And the name of this podcast is Inexperienced. So, like,
Things are
what do
supposed to go wrong.
Things are going to go wrong. Because I do not have any experience in this. I don't know what I'm doing. So, that's why I left it in.
But like that's your message.
And that's what I'm trying to get at. That, like, when I was doing podcasts for baseball teams, for the Yankees, I wanted to make my own experience. I wanted to buy season tickets doing that. Not for a job. I just wanted to put it on a resume.
Okay.
Not to make a career out of it, not to do it for 100 years. And it fizzled out. I'm just not better. I'm not good in a team either.
Fair enough.
I have a partner in crime. If you're my person, then I got your back all the way through. Does not matter. You can hurt me in ways that you never imagined, and I'll be like, all right, cool. Hey, I love you.
Let them.
Yeah. It's just one of those things about me. I don't even know where I was going with that. I don't know where we started. I lose track.
Yeah.
That's also why I can't monologue. Because I will sit there and I'll just be rambling and rambling and rambling, and then you'll be like,
I
oh.
don't have that problem. When I do my solo episodes, sometimes I'll like start talking and I'm like, shut up.
I ruminate, and that's my problem.
Well, that's why you have your little book.
That's why I have my little book.
That's good.
And if I feel lighter and I feel clearer and I feel like I'm thinking about things better. But if you found my book, you would commit me to prison because this is just a psychopath writing.
Great.
No, okay.
Good. Let's admit that.
No, but I'm writing things like, you wouldn't believe how beautiful you are. And I'm talking about someone who I'm thinking about in my head, and I won't write the name of my book.
What's wrong with that?
Because it's just like a psychopath talking to himself.
Oh, is it?
That's what it seems like to me. But this is what I mean. This is why I like to write. I like analog.
Are you gonna cut this?
No. That's the whole point. I have to be uncomfortable a little bit. But like that's why I don't like to text. Because once I text, I can reread it and I can change things and I can go back. But once I write it in pen, if I cross it out, you could tell.
Okay.
I'm a little bit more harsher on myself.
That's a little accountability.
Because I think that I will spin things on paper if I could. Once I say it, it's out and it's gone. I can't think about it again.
I've been told that I should do that. I should journal.
I wouldn't even consider what I'm doing journaling because I tried.
I mean, like, to me, journaling is just writing things down in a book.
And everyone is different.
I don't mean like prompts. I mean just like writing down things.
I used to like to write at the end of the day, like how my day went, and this is what got me upset today.
I don't know if I could do with the whole prompt thing, but I think like sometimes what I do is I'll just like record a voice note when I have an idea or like whatever I'm thinking about, or I'll write something in my notes app, but like it's so disorganized. So like a book would probably be better.
And I guess like,
and it's lost in my phone now. Like I don't even know what it is.
I think as I'm losing people through life, a little part of it is keeping accountability for myself because like I have memories that I don't share with anyone anymore.
Yeah.
And like that's hard. It's hard to like go through life doing things alone.
Yeah. Well, the reason I would journal is mostly like whatever I'm feeling or experiencing. I don't feel like I can talk to anybody about it or like shouldn't talk to anybody about it, and I should just keep it to myself.
A lot of what I write down is like I'm aware that the people around me are living their lives. And I'm aware that the people around me are growing and moving forward while I'm stuck at where I was when I was 25. I'm not getting better.
I don't think you're stuck. I've known you.
Financially, I am. Physically, I'm stuck at home. And my brother is doing better than me. My friends are all doing better than me. And that's really hard. And it makes it hard to think that you're worth it to somebody else. It's hard to date. It's depressing. And I just feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm stuck in a place where I'm not growing, and I'm watching the people around me grow, and they don't have time for me anymore. So that's why this book exists. Because I have so many things that I want to say that then I will forget because I don't have the brain that I had 2 years ago. And it's like, maybe someone wants to hear this one day. And I just write it in my book to like
I don't think
remember.
there's-
It sounds so sad when I say it out loud, but like
It's like
this is like
it's
isolating. Like I don't know
it's
how to
not
describe how lonely this feeling is. I don't. And like I don't know. This is raw and
Yeah.
emotional, and it's supposed to be. And I guess this is the point of this. Like this is 2.5 hours almost, by the way. You guys are 2.5.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm gonna kill you. I have to blow dry my hair.
But it was good. Like this is what I mean by like you don't know that you're having these conversations with people, and I didn't know that I was going to get into like loneliness today. But that's the whole point of this podcast. I don't want to monologue and talk about myself. I don't want to sit down with you and say, "All right, we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z." No, it's just, hey, what do you want to talk about? All right, a couple things.
We talked about so many things.
Exactly. You didn't think that we talked about 18 things that you didn't even think we would.
And the things that I wanted to talk about, we didn't even touch.
No, not even close.
What did we want to talk
What
about?
did we want to talk about? What did we even talk about?
I don't know.
But how great is that like you sat here for 2.5 hours and you didn't even realize it? And it's just, I don't know.
I realize it because I am tired. But
I'm tired. That's the only thing.
Oh my god, we need to wrap this.
We do need to wrap this, but I guess the point, the thing that I wanted to get to at the beginning, that now it's okay that it's at the end, introspective about last week, and then compared last week to this week, right? Episode 1, I interviewed someone I don't even know, never met this man. The first time I heard his voice and saw his face, we hit record 15 seconds later.
Yeah.
And this week is one with one of my oldest friends and someone I could talk to. Like, I don't even think we've talked about half of these topics together in the 10 years we know each other.
But we also do this.
We do this. No,
we talk about the
We've had to
most
stop
random
each
shit.
other from talking for the last 12 hours because it's like, okay,
Yeah, stop talking about it.
Save the
We
topic. And we
didn't
didn't talk
get
about
to.
any of that stuff. But that's what's like, there's so many more episodes and so many things you could do. And like, I was worried about how am I going to fill 2 hours with a stranger, about psychedelics, something I've never thought about, something I've never seen myself wanting to do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a topic I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Topic that you could talk to me about it. And like, I was torn between the first episode being someone I'm comfortable with and someone I could talk to like this. Like this idea of this podcast being in person with my curtain behind me, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Last week was not my vision. But more episodes are going to be like last week than this week. For now.
Yeah.
I do not have the money
It's
or
a
the
lot
space.
because I want to do in-person interviews, and then I spoke to someone and they were like, okay, but like logistically, do you have a space? Like, what are you gonna do? Do you have equipment? And I was like, no.
No, like I was
I
supposed
just have a vision.
I had booked my third interview before I had booked this one. And with that person, I was like, logistically, I just don't think I could do an in-person interview.
Yeah.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
And this isn't as hard as I thought it would be. But it's different. Lighting is different. I'm going to have to buy new curtains because obviously there's not enough.
Yeah.
So I got to buy more.
Well,
Well,
you're
like,
just figuring it out.
You learn things. I pulled the plant over.
When I started my podcast too, like I had a friend of mine listen to the first couple episodes before I published them. And she said to me, like, you're always going to want to change something. There's always going to be something you wish, was different or could go differently, or something you want to change. And like, you just got to let that go.
Like I recorded my first episode on Thursday and I let the computer handle like, the normalizing and all that stuff. Yeah. I sat on it. I wanted to release it Friday. That was the goal. I record Thursday, release it Friday. I don't even think about it. Gone out in the universe.
Yeah.
And then Friday came and I was like, there's a 2-hour podcast. It's going to get lost to people's weekends. So I figured give them Monday. This way they have the whole week to listen to it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I did that. But guess who was up at 3 a.m. on Sunday because I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Monday, I guess. Because I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it. And I was so nervous about people hearing this. And it was bad. I think the interview was good, but I think the quality was bad.
I don't think so.
I think the dog was barking. I think that I was a little flustered at the beginning of the interview. I think it was a little too fast. But then I got my grip and I got my bearings a little bit. Like next week, I think I'm interviewing another person I know for a while.
Yeah.
No one you guys know. And it's one of those things that like that person doesn't know much about me. They know me as like someone who likes sports or works at the garden, and they don't really know me. And I'm really excited for that conversation to be had.
I think I think the premise of this that I really like is I feel like these days you don't really get to have like very like long and like kind of meaningless but meaningful conversations with people.
Well, we had no idea what we were going to talk about. We had a deeper conversation than I
No.
thought we were going to have.
I think we touched on some things that we did want to talk about, and then there were like some very like random things like the dire wolf that we ended up talking but I am also the type of person like I tell people all the time like I could talk to a fucking lamp. Like
Well,
I just could go on
that's
and on and on and on and like just ask me a question, I'll ask you one back, and we'll just
for
keep going
me
from there.
a lot of it,
It's
and being
nice.
introspective, especially the last couple of years, now 2 years, where I've really been alone with my head. And I had to think about what I was good at because I wanted to be a cop.
Yeah.
I was ready to become a cop, and that is never going to happen now. And it's like saying that out loud. You have to finally say it out loud. I am never going to do this. What the fuck is next?
Yeah.
And recovering and trying to take my recovery in my own hands and doing school, not it. Could not do it, could not focus. I'm too hopped up on drugs to focus. I'm on painkillers. I'm on marijuana. I'm on medical cannabis.
Can we reframe that though? Because the way it comes out of your mouth is super negative.
Because it sounds negative. And last week, if you listen
But
to
it's
last week's episode,
not.
it's not negative. And I've learned to take it back in the last 7 months.
Like you're never gonna be a cop, but what the fuck is next?
Oh, no, you're right. Because I wasn't supposed to be a cop. God didn't intend for me to be a cop.
But like, what the fuck is next?
I'm not supposed.
Exclamation point.
I really, honestly, truly believe I'm not supposed to be in New York.
Oh.
I have to figure it out and live somewhere else, but I can't do that right now.
I'm a big proponent of moving out of your home, out of your hometown, out of your home state.
Mm-hmm.
Big proponent of it. I think it's a really good opportunity for growth. Like, I didn't make any friends here the past 2 years. I spent a lot of my time alone to the point where people were concerned about me being alone so much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think Brooklyn also changed my life. Like, I learned so much about myself through being alone, through being completely isolated from everybody else, not making any new friends. I learned a lot about myself, and then I got a dog and learned how to like take care of another living thing, and also like it taught me a lot about myself and like got me in a routine and got me like to really like stop being so fucking lazy and like throwing so many pity parties for myself and like it just like it really helped me the past years, and now I feel like thank God I'm moving again because I'm done.
There was a situation for me over the summer that it had lasted from before I had gotten hurt. I don't know. It was just like one of those situations where like I didn't know, and I was hurt, and I used that as not an excuse or a crutch, but I was hurt and I couldn't do much, and it was just one of those life opportunities and one of those things that like maybe I'll never get back. So after that, and it was a person. Who knows? But it was a person who I don't think I could have been the person that I needed to be for them.
Mm-hmm.
I know I couldn't have. I was hurt. And after seeing them and meeting them in person and realizing maybe I can't really be this person, I took a real long introspective look. And it took me about 8 months to really get to this point where I was like, all right, no one's going to handle my recovery for me. And I talked about it last week. But had Luigi not had the name he had or done what he'd done or had the symptoms he had, I would not be where I am. And I mean this in 100% certainty that story spoke to me because it was supposed to. That it could have been anyone that did it. It was a 26-year-old Guinea who...
You're doing it on purpose.
That one was on purpose. It was a 26-year-old Italian kid who had brain fog and the same L5 fusion as me and stomach problems that no one could explain that really told me to, all right, so I want this that I couldn't get. And my whole life to this point and now has been a failure. When in December, this is what I had gone through. My life to this point is a failure. And if I want that person and I want that life, I need to be better. And I've tried to become better. And is that going to happen with that person or that situation? Hey, I don't know. Life has a funny way of working, and we'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah, gotta do it yourself.
But it was for me. It was 100% for me with that person in mind. And I'm glad I did it for me. But had that not happened with like that Luigi, where would I be? Is crazy to think about. And
I
it's
didn't
crazy,
really realize that was the thing that
like
inspired
life changing,
you.
like life changing. Like I don't
Goodness.
reading the New York. I started reading the New York Times because the president got shot, and I thought the news was entertaining. And I wanted to read more about it because watching Fox, you're not going to get it. Watching CNN, you're not going to get it because
Yeah.
everyone has a solo, singular opinion, and it's not good. You can't read the New York Post because it's written for children. So like the only choice was the New York Times, and I did get a lot from it. And they went really deep into Luigi, his background and his story and where he was from and everything leading up to this decision he made. And everything I read, I kept saying, my story has to be different. I cannot be a sad story. I cannot be a tragedy.
Yeah.
I cannot be.
Yeah.
And it really opened my eyes to doing better for me. And it sounds crazy when you say it out loud, and everyone gets so upset when once I say if I go, "Ooh," everyone's like, "Oh, I know where this is going," because like it's crazy. That kid changed my life.
Look,
And
whatever,
it's a horrible thing that happened. It's a terrible thing that allegedly he did.
whatever. I mean, look, like,
But like,
do I wish it was something different for you? Sure,
oh,
but
me
like,
too. I wish it wasn't like allegedly a murderer.
whatever your sign is from
But like,
whatever God you believe
that's
in.
why I can't ignore why I want to get better. And I know that the path for me is set. And this is what I truly mean, that the path is set.
Okay.
But you're on your own path, and you have your own podcast. And you want to tell us more about that? Where can we find you?
Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
You have an Instagram?
Also, yes, Esquire State of Mind on Instagram, also esquirestateofmind.com.
And you also do mentorships. How often do you do those?
So I mentor a lot of students currently, law students, some newer attorneys. Um, I don't have any like formal mentorship programs or anything like that because I am figuring out one, like what my schedule is, and also like how to really like offer this to people. And because it's icky to charge,
Yeah.
can't charge for mentorship, and I won't. Um, I
Ever?
I wouldn't call it mentorship if I'm charging for it. That's not what that is. That's not what that is. Um, but I'm going to be doing like monthly sessions, and I'm going to have like opportunities for people to connect with like a group of people versus one-on-one. So I can try to talk to as many people as possible
So
in
you're
one
building a
time.
community.
I'm trying.
Good for
I
you.
also have like you can subscribe for free right now to this, like, it's like a forum. It's like a Reddit idea. It's a forum where I'll be posting like if I see job postings, if I have like advice about things or like things that come up in my conversations with people, like I'll quickly like write a note. People can comment, they can engage with each other. It's free. I don't know if that will be free forever. It really depends on like where it goes. Everything is very like in the early stages, building the plane in the sky. But like there's not a lot of like honest conversations about the like internal struggles that we all have through law school, and it's like we all know it's happening, but you still feel very alone through the process.
But
And my goal is just like to make people feel a little less alone, because it's like we literally have a lot of the same questions about
there's a message
things.
there for people outside the law as well.
Sure.
So anyone that's like struggling and going through it
Yes,
and needs some sort of mentorship. So it's not necessarily that you want to become a lawyer, but if you want to hear about like people that are trying to become
yeah,
successful or a better version of themselves
totally.
through the law, it's a good place to find some inspiration, even if the legal stuff is
Sure.
not for you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like, I think a lot of the like stories that I tell about my own experience and like the advice that I try to give in the podcast is applicable to all things. Like, if you really like think about it, like in one episode, or like it might be the first or second episode, I talk about like the themes that I had and the kind of like my pillars throughout law school were like to be like very strategic, intentional. What was the other word that I used? I can't remember, but definitely like strategic and intentional about like the decisions you make, the people you spend your time with, the intention behind all of your interactions and the things that you do. Like leading with all of that is is how you get to where you want to be. It's you don't just move through life on a whim. You don't just like do things for the sake of doing them. You have a goal, you
And a
have to
purpose.
be strategic about it. There are and I think like people get confused about strategy, where like sometimes they feel like, oh, it's manipulative or it's like not authentic, and like no, like strategy is very much just like having a plan. And like using law school as an example, like I was very strategic about the choices that I made while I was there. So like the classes that I chose, the experiences that I had, the people I worked with, the people I met, the things I decided to put my name on. And then I led with intention in everything. So like I was very intentional, like I knew what I wanted to be and I knew what I wanted to do, and that guided me the whole time. And I think you can apply that to anything. It's like if you have a goal, you can be strategic. It's like, okay, like get me from point A to point B, then to C. What's going to get me there? Like, what are the things that I need to do? Who are the people I need to talk to? Like, it can really apply to anything.
Well, I look forward to continuing to watch you grow as a
Thanks.
content creator and as an attorney, and of course as my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thanks.
doing this.
Yeah.
One more time, where can they find you on Instagram?
Esquire State of Mind.
All right, Madison, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys, for joining, and I'll talk to you again next week.
Bye.